well, that's just a little something that I put together very quickly. That's not true at all. Will did it. And number 2, I left Spotify running during half of it. So,
So come back in a couple weeks.
After you gave us such a hard time about don't say a word. Don't you dare say a word.
Then I basically ruined it. But with that, we'll take over.
Yeah, so welcome back to Dungeon Designers Session 3. This is kind of like a session... Ooh, Tracy, what session do you think we're on right now?
No, we had this whole thing for like pop culture roundtable to the point where I have no idea what session this is because Patrick and Andrew messed it up so badly for me.
Patrick kept saying that it was session 3, and I said it was session 2, and I said, Patrick, you're crazy. You never pay attention to stuff like this. And then he said, no, but it is. And then I thought about it, and then he was right.
Yeah, so session 3, but it's kind of a 2.5 because I overplanned for our last session, and we're kind of like just trying to finish that up. Hopefully, we'll see how tonight goes. So last time we ended, it was a 5 days planning for this heist where you guys are trying to break into Masterwork, an Abathur company, and to get the medical supplies because Raji wants to help supply one of the local hospitals that's like taking care of people kind of under the table. Taking care of those who can't afford medical care, where Abathur is only selling things to like help people get cyborg pieces and stuff like that. So the last time we had spoken, I believe you guys had already signed Gary, our terrible NPC character. I think he's just on board. I think, if I remember correctly, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe all he's agreed to is like open the doors for you in the morning. I believe you guys had talked to him and tried to get him to like bring you to the second floor. He was like, I'm out, guys. Like, I will open the door. I'll take my cut of the money. And that's it. Does anyone remember things differently?
Yeah, he did.
And he only knows 2 of us, right? He hasn't seen the whole of the group yet.
Oh yeah, because I'm in the shadows.
He knows me.
Yes.
And then I think everyone else kind of stayed hidden. Yeah. But we did say that I think we said that we might have I can't remember if we told him this. You guys can correct me, but I feel like maybe we told him that we would potentially capture him as a hostage, but no one would get hurt, and he agreed to it. He said as long as nobody gets hurt.
Okay, agreed. that sounds correct. All right, so I don't know if we want to kick it right over to Figma, Patrick. I know you control that thing, but I've positioned your 4 icons in front. The one thing I would love to start doing, this is a little bit metagaming. So you guys have 255 colors to pick from, and we have 2 people using red and 2 people using purple. Is there any way we could try to just like maybe change that up a little bit? Because I don't know who's who.
Aren't you a designer? I mean, come on. There's like crimson, there's red,
I mean, Ray, you are part of the problem in this one, so you made your token last.
I look at my room. It's called aesthetic. I match. Dude,
she
was also is my aesthetic.
She was the only one that chose a background color. The rest of us had like literally just white backgrounds, and she's the one that changed it. And we're like, oh, we can do that.
Yeah,
I didn't realize all the things I had.
The background color. So like, if your character gets poisoned or charmed, I'm gonna change your background color so we can like track who's got what conditions. So the black is cool for default, but if you get poisoned, you're gonna turn a little green.
That's fine. As long as it can stay
so
black.
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, if people have other colors than purple and red that they love, maybe eventually change it tonight. But it looks like Tracy and Ray are locked in.
We match our aesthetic here, so I think it's the other 2 that.
You're right. So Patrick, can you make your character white? Andrew, can you make your character white? And then we'll move on.
I'll change mine. I don't care. And we will still be responsible for moving it for him.
Okay.
Noted.
So back to our game. You guys will have to decide like what time of day you want to start this. You get to decide where you want to start it, right? This is all going to be really controlled by you because you're the ones putting this plan into action. So with that, would anyone kind of like to take lead and be like, I think we should start at blank time? I believe
we already decided it, didn't we?
Yeah, we had agreed it was like at the open. Like,
I need to start taking notes.
Also, a couple of folks in chat said they can't hear Patrick.
They can hear
I
me
can hear
now.
Patrick.
It's already fixed. It's already fixed.
Okay.
They got it now. Okay. So we're jumping into it, right?
Yes. So opening, I think we said it was like 8 a.m. was I believe we said kind of was like the opening. And I believe, if I'm wrong, and please correct me if you remember something differently, that shipment was supposed to kind of show up on opening time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's the likelihood we could procure Richard Nixon masks before this happens?
Yeah, it would have to be what's the governor of this planet or this ring's name? I'd have to go through my notes.
Cliff.
No, I had a way cooler name.
Clifford.
Notion. What ring are we on? 4. Decorum Broadstone. So you'd have like Decorum Broadstone masks on. I think you could get some of those.
Okay, so I want to be clear. We're now wearing masks. I still want to include the bandana over my mask though.
Sure.
Okay, so how much time do we have before this happens? Like, what time is it right now?
Again, whatever you guys want to like do whatever you want to start at, right?
What we left off with was coming out of the hub, I believe, and having that conversation. So if we're starting off from there, it's the night before.
Okay. Let's maybe solidify our final plans, because this is happening in just a couple hours. So does anybody want to like roll through what we're about to do?
Absolutely.
I am planning on being there at the front of the door to go in. I can be the one to try to knock out the either knock out or take hostage the people who are coming in to do the delivery. I'm totally fine to do that. I think I should have at least one other person to help me with that. I would think maybe Ray would be a good person to be on that.
As far as Aslan, she's gonna stay in the dark in the back. You do not want her seen. She's behind where that truck is coming in, waiting to pounce.
I understand, but like you and I are gonna be the ones who sees the people and either have to knock them out or take them hostage, like tie them up. Okay. I've got the taser thing, right? Like I've got the thing. I'm gonna throw before all this stuff happens. I'm gonna throw the camera jammer.
Does I want to
so that people won't see it.
And we still have those poison, like what is it? The darts, the parallel.
Yeah, I have it ready.
We
just
don't have
remember,
Gary, do we?
You will. I mean, if you want Gary here currently, we can say yes. But I think your plan was to meet Gary tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Gary went home and Aslan was like just tracking
following
him, like sitting on him for the babysitting, right? For the night.
We'll meet Gary in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'll follow him back in. So I assume we would have talked about this probably before.
Yeah, we would have given him this.
So just a reminder that Aslan's race is kind of like not. You don't want her seen. We're not really around a lot, so
you should keep yourself covered. Maybe
right,
not.
You had a mask of some sort on, right?
Yeah, like a breathing apparatus and a hood.
Cool.
As long as she's not like walking in the front door, then she'd be okay with that.
It does sound like though, like the two rogues are going to be the ones that want to do these type of things, right? So your character will have to figure out something.
You're gonna have to be present. I will toss the camera jammer in before we ever go in, so the cameras will be they won't pick anything up in this storeroom right here. They won't pick.
Who else is up for doing this? Because like she had the plan of staying back with the truck coming in.
Yeah, I thought too. And
because we split. Yeah.
I thought there were 2 that were coming in front entrance, maybe, and then 2 with the delivery folks, and then we were just sweeping rooms 2, 3, and 4, and then kind of seeing where was it. So clearing out those back rooms. So we're kind of just maintaining room 1 for appearances. Yeah. So like I don't know.
I don't think we need to have anyone in room 1.
Right. So then are we all?
I think we can all go into room 2, but not everybody is going to be like seizing the people. Like we'll all be involved.
Well, what people are we seizing? And I know that we were still kind of
delivery people, like the delivery people.
Yes,
and that's why we split.
outside.
And
That's why we
Right.
split. We had 2 outside in the back at delivery. It was
Mhm.
me and someone else, and then we had 2 going in the front to kind of like meet in the middle of the building.
well, they
Like
don't.
one.
I don't think we should go in the front though, because I don't think there's any reason for us to. Gary's gonna be letting us in that side door. There's no reason for us to go in the front door, in my
So-
opinion.
Okay, so the side number 2, like
Yes.
that
Yes,
side
this
door.
one right there,
Okay.
yeah.
So two
Okay,
people
okay.
can just already be inside. Gary has said that he will try to, because remember, there's one other person working the front desk with Gary. Gary said that he's going to try to keep his attention. Even knowing that well, I don't know. So we're trusting Gary to keep that person's attention. We can be waiting in 2 for the delivery truck. We're going to hit 2, 3, and 4. Now, I should point out that if we hit 2, 3, and 4, we can't come back and hit it again later because it's going to create a whole scene. So are we positive we're not going to go to the second floor? And are we positive we're also not going to try to go to the 3rd floor and steal any documents?
I think you can still go back to the 3rd floor later. in the evening.
Outside.
Okay. So we're just going to focus 1st floor, hope we get lucky and that the truck has some of the stuff that we want. And we have the list of specific things that we're looking
We're getting
for.
paid the same regardless of what he gets. It's not like we're getting paid a percentage. So I think we just need to show that we're people of our word, so we can get on his side and get into our next gig with him.
And just to be clear, not killing anyone. That was a
Right.
very hard line about the job, is that
Correct.
no
He doesn't
bodies.
know that we killed anybody.
Sleazel.
I mean, this is a place where people, frankly, probably die pretty regularly in surgery, so we'll figure it out.
Sneak him into a bed.
Yeah.
I feel like the staff doesn't die frequently, though. So just like a little pin. on
My
that one.
last point is that if anything uses a physical key, and Gary has the physical key, we need to use that device to copy it.
Yeah, no physical keys
Okay. Then that's unhelpful completely.
for now. Yeah.
Great. So I think our half-baked plan, I think we're ready to execute.
Can I do one thing? Can I just do show and tell real quick? This
The
is what
pizza?
my
Okay.
dice came in. It's a foam packed deal. And look at these colors.
Yeah, that's...
What's the brand? What'd you get?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's from Japan, I think. I'm not sure.
But
they're absolutely beautiful.
yeah,
I can't get it.
go
to
ahead and send
focus.
me a set. Thank you.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
awesome.
me too.
Thanks, Becca. This is a Valentine's Day gift.
Aw.
I got a Valentine's Day dice gift as well, but mine are not multicolored. Mine are shiny and purple.
And these have foil confetti inside. Oh my gosh, they're awesome. All right, sorry. I'm ready.
Huge
No reason to
distraction.
apologize
Unpause.
for that.
Yeah.
Unpause.
One of the guys walking by you was like, "Wow, nice dice." Yeah.
All right, we're ready. Let's do it. What's happening, Will?
All right, so where are y'all positioned? And I'm going to basically escort Gary back, although he doesn't know it.
Yeah, and are we saying you guys kind of get there maybe like 15 minutes before opening, like just right before?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So, you guys know that someone is planning to come through that side door. Main door is where like the workers would probably come through. I don't know how close you guys want to be to these doors. So you're gonna have to a lot of this is gonna be like you guys explain to me what you're doing. Because if I start asking you questions, things will get obvious, right? So just where you guys placed, where are you looking for?
I want
think we
to
should.
stay back until I see Gary. And then I want to kind of motion to Gary and figure out where he wants me.
Well, I think we would have talked to him the night before, and what we would have asked him is for him to come to these doors right here and let us in. So I think as soon as he comes to the doors, we just casually walk in, and then we just station ourselves
Okay.
in here until the delivery people.
Maybe
get
we should
there.
take a step back. Are we already wearing these masks?
I'm not wearing a mask.
I'm not wearing a mask either.
You literally said you're wearing a mask. You're wearing this thing.
Well,
No,
like-
you specified that
I'm
clearly.
in my outfit. I'm not
It's
wearing
a
a.
breathing apparatus.
So we have one Decker and Broadstone dwarf mask on a halfling
Yeah.
body.
just the one.
I don't.
Just the
There's no,
one.
there's no camera, so it's not necessary. I'm already hooded. I'm a rogue. I don't need.
There's
I'm
no
a big old
cameras
bird.
outside.
I'm a big bird.
Shadow.
There's no cameras
have-
outside.
Yeah, there's no hiding that behind a mask.
There's like 100-foot perimeter on my camera jammer or whatever. So no cameras are gonna see us in the immediate.
Okay, fine. So yes, I would expect her going through the side door. And I'm just
So
gonna.
we just all need to be really on top of moving our characters around during this so that we don't have to explain it to Will.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna pretend that Gary is going to, just like any other day, walk in the front entrance and then come and unlock that side door, right? He's not meeting us at the side door because that would be not business as usual. So
Correct.
he's
I would
gonna
have
open
snuck
that door
behind him.
and then like 2 people are gonna go in, or are we all gonna go in and kind of ambush the crew? Or there's 2 people hanging back and 2 people hanging
For the
inside?
delivery truck.
Okay.
Do we?
Cool.
I'm sorry. I feel like we're already struggling.
Yeah.
I think you're struggling. I think everyone else knows what's happening.
Shouldn't we just all go into section 2 and just all wait on the delivery drivers to open the doors instead of 2 people
The
hanging
driver might
around?
just stay there. We're hijacking
Yeah.
the truck, so we need to take care of presumably the 2, because again
Mhm.
there is some assumption being made here, of the people that are loading this in,
Okay.
because we're stealing their truck. We're gonna throw them in like room 2 or something. We're gonna like Aslan's gonna paralyze them with
Very
the dart.
close.
Similar to, but not entirely
So
as permanent.
which 2 of us are attacking the driver and not killing him, and which 2 of us are going into section 2?
So I think, which now I'm gonna call you your name instead of your actual name because I don't have my. Tracy, what's your character's name? I need to
L.
know.
It's a letter.
Perfect. Well, I kind of saw Ella and I staying out and taking care of delivery truck, and you 2 going in.
I love it. I love that because I'm gonna kill the guy. So I think me being inside is a good idea.
And I feel like we could handle it and get them kind of tied up and stuck into where we need to
Okay.
not kill them.
So Will, we're all standing outside the number 2 doors waiting on Gary to let us in.
Yeah. So Gary shows up and comes in, and you hear him like start to like move some stuff, and you can hear things on the other side of this door, like real friendly. And he just like cracks open the door a little bit to see if you guys are there, and he looks nervous. Like there's even like beads of sweat probably because he just doesn't know what's going on. He's like, maybe he spent the whole night second guessing it. He probably looks tired because he hasn't slept much, and he's like, get in. And as he like pushes back to give you guys room, he's like whispering, right? And he says, the other employees at the desk already. The CEO came in and went upstairs already, and that the delivery truck, it should be here any minute.
Cool.
Okay.
So who's I'm moving this person because you're not here anymore. Okay.
Or like hiding around the corners waiting for the truck.
Yeah, I'm on like this side. Do we have a Valium for Gary? Can you like just like poke him just a little bit with your paralyzing dart just to bring him down a bit, take that edge off?
Gary, it's gonna be all right. We're professionals. No one's gonna get hurt. No one's gonna know you had anything to do with this. The cameras have been jammed. Like it's all good. Like as far as anyone's gonna know, this was just a random act that happened. It's all good. Just go back and make sure that everything is taken care of out in the lobby.
Yeah, he does. You kind of hear him like scuffling.
I'm gonna go ahead and
stay cool,
even though I feel decently comfortable, I am gonna go ahead and try to obscure myself a bit in the corner of some of the package. I'm a tiny person, so I assume it's not terribly difficult for me to be out of the way. But I want to, just in case the other employee just comes through the door, I don't want to just be standing in the middle of the room.
And what I would say is, like, I have the boxes all along the walls, and this is mostly just so you guys can get your tokens in. But I don't know if anyone's ever worked, like, a crappy part-time job at a grocery store, but thinking, like, the back room, right? Like, there's, like, broken boxes, there's things pushed around. Like, it'd be easy to kind of, like, scuffle behind some, like, rubbish and just, like, hide away.
Great.
I'd like to stealth as well outside to make sure that I'm hidden.
Yeah, I think, like, usually how I play this, you're a rogue and Eris is a rogue, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just figured for most times, like, before combat, you're always kind of stealthy. Like, so yeah, like, right on time, you're on the corner, and the streets are starting to change, right? We talked about this a little bit last time, where, like, the night is a little bit sketchier, and as the day, like, all the day shift workers are starting to wake up and starting to move around. People are starting to make their way into the main corridor, like, that main vein, to get to the different rings. But all you see is like this little guy kind of, and he's like a little man. He's probably only like 5'6", 5'5". And it's not really a truck as much as a bike with a giant kind of pallet on the back, right? Just like a little, like, and it's not a a pedal bike. It's like a little motorized bicycle, kind of moped, but delivery style. And instead of it just being like a little pizza box, it's a fairly large pallet like hanging off the backside. And you just hear him like put, right? And you see him
And
just like kind of
Aslan
driving.
is just kind of like leaning up against the building and like nods, but kind of ignores to not look like she's just there.
Yeah, and I would say like even like you do that, but there's so many people around that he's kind of just swerving in and out. That's the reason you can't have trucks. Like the main vein might be able to do trucks. It'd be like trying to get a Mack truck into a small city, right? Like it's just easier for him to go in with this little bike and pull up. And yeah, he pulls right up to the doors and just kind of like backs it up and gives it a honk.
And if there's shadows here, like I assume it's kind of shadowy, like
everything is like kind of dim lit, right?
Perfect.
But I would say much more than the lighting. It would just be like you blending with crowds that would keep you hidden.
All right.
Yeah. At this point, I'm just kind of like peeking around the corner and I'm just assuming, oh, it's one guy, so I can just sit here because I'm not the one with the dart.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know if I'm going to need to dart him. I'm watching to see who's joining him because he beeped, so clearly something's about to happen.
For someone to come. So I'm going to go. I'm just going to go open the door. Doors open in or out?
Whatever you want.
Okay, I'll open the door in.
Yeah.
This is a magical land.
I just assumed it was
bi-directional doors.
It's still fantasy.
Just let him see. Well, you said that he had peeked out before, so I just didn't know if he was cracking it or pulling. I open the door. I open the door up and just leave it for a second.
Yeah, and he goes, "Hey, you're gonna help me with these?" And he like starts to get off the bike and starts to like pick up the boxes off the pallets. And you can see clearly on the bike, there's like a couple oxygen tanks, and then there's just a lot of cardboard boxes.
Yeah,
and he starts to pick them up and starts making his way towards the door.
Okay.
Yeah, one second. I'll be there in just a second. I gotta grab something. That's what I yell.
I want to hustle over at like while he's like trying to take these things off, and I kind of just want to try to like not push, but like since he's smaller than me, and like kind of shove him out so that everything stays as undisturbed as possible in this thing, and like push him into the room since we're clearly not darting at this time.
Yeah. So you like just come in and you just go in for a push.
I just I don't have a clean shot on him yet. I gotta wait until he's in the room.
Get him in. That's fine. If you get him in there
into the room, so I'm going to essentially like manhandle, not push, because I do not want him to fall and crack his head and die. Because again, I'm very conscious of these bodies, so I'm just kind of like hup.
I just started watching.
And I'm gonna move the motorbike into the shadows with me, so like people don't realize it's there. Because I really didn't want him taking too much off of it. So
in there.
I just watched. I'm watching the first episodes of This Flag Is Death, and he's got that whale, and he's like bludgeon. All right, so Tracy, can you give me a strength check? So that's just going to be a roll of your d20 plus your strength modifier.
He was tiny, right?
He's pretty small.
And Tracy, tell me what your 20 is.
So it's 12, and then my strength modifier is +3.
Cool, plenty. So you like go to push, he kind of turns around to kind of fend you off and then just like falls backwards into the room. The doors swing open a little bit as he like falls into the room. On either side, he looks up and he sees Eris, the air kokra, and he sees Sleazel like kind of in the garbage staring at him.
And I immediately hop down and inject him with the dart.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, he's like, hey, and then okay.
I'm gonna search his pockets.
Okay. You find some change, or no? There's no change because we're not playing fantasy. We're playing. Yeah. So you would, after like a very thorough check, you would find his ID card. You would find maybe a list of places he's supposed to go, kind of scribed onto a piece of paper. You see his like ID for the trucking company or the transport company. But other than that, it's a fairly early morning. He hasn't collected much stuff.
I'm going to go ahead and take his
So
ID.
collected, you don't mean collected, you mean dropped off. So he's got other folks's.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if he had eaten lunch, he'd have more stuff. Like, there's like the things of the day. You always empty your pockets at the end of the day with more stuff than you started with. So it's just like morning. He's got his ID. He's got the scraps, like his directions and stuff for the day. And he's just wearing his kind of trucker uniform.
I assume this is knowledge I would have, but is someone's ID, like, can that be like geolocated at any time or something? Or like if I don't want to take his ID because people will know where I am.
Yeah, I think so. This is something that would be common knowledge. Like you could find people who could scramble it, get the money off, block it, like all those kind of hacker things. But for the time being, if you just held it onto it for like a week, someone would probably be able to find it.
Okay, so in that case, I'm not going to take his ID. That's fine. Okay, so
I'd like to look over the motorbike while he's doing that. Like at the same time that they're dealing with that situation, I just want to give it a once over and see what's going on and kind of tuck it in the corner so I can go join them.
Yeah, so you find quite a few of the things like the oxygen tank. You find some of bandages. You find some antiseptics in there, as well as a lot of other things that weren't on the list, like paper towels, toilet paper, other kind of gauze, all these other things that they need. In total, there's probably 2 oxygen tanks, and there's maybe a half dozen fairly large boxes.
okay, so is that something you're gonna?
How big is the motorbike? Sorry, real quick.
So I would say the bike part probably looks like one of those European mopeds. On the back, probably a 4x4 or 4x5 pallet that kind of slides into 2 rails on the back.
Can it go through the door? Is what I'm getting at. I don't really want to leave all of that content out here alone.
It would fill the room though, right? Like you could stick it in there.
All right.
I mean, your job is kind of like, I know you're not
can hang
supposed
back.
to,
Yeah.
You're just like keeping eyes on. At this point, like once like Eris moves in to dart this dude, I'm like, I want to close that door.
Okay.
And sweep.
So
you want to make sure the door is
hang
closed so
back
no
and
one's like watching us hover over this prone man or person.
Here's the thing.
Can I do a perception of the area? I'm sure we're good.
You're good.
Okay.
You don't even have to, like, you're working hard.
Okay.
If all your
drag this dude
focus
out
is
of the
just
way.
like to protect that bike.
Here's the deal. We need to go hit 2, 3, and 4 very quickly. This seems like a massive waste of time so far, but let's hit them very quickly. We also need to decide what we're going to do.
This has happened fast.
We also
This
need
is
to
all
decide...
happening simultaneously.
Yeah. We also need to decide what we're going to do with this body because I don't think we should leave this guy back here to be discovered.
We need to sweep the room, bring it all the stuff out to the bike, and just leave him propped out against the wall out there amidst the shadows and the passing crowd.
I super duper do not want him outside. I want to just drag him into like room 3 in this little corner, maybe box him in with shit. I do not want like a knocked out dude.
You haven't picked up, so just carry him over.
Yeah, I just kind of want to move him into this little corner.
The sooner he's found, the sooner they know they're robbed. So because
Well,
they could
did we hit the cameras yet?
They could just assume right now that like the
Right.
delivery didn't show up.
He didn't get here. He didn't get there.
So we could buy ourselves a lot of time by handling this body. That said,
Yes.
let's go hit 3 and 4 real quick. Like quick sweep. We need to do something with the body and let's get out of here.
So you all do your initial sweeps. I am like I'm pushing this dude into the corner and setting him up while you guys do whatever you're doing. Yeah,
I don't think we should put. So while you're doing that, I'm saying, hey, Elle, I don't think we should put him in there. I think he should be outside because outside he could just be a drunken bum. Inside, they recognize that this is a person who's not supposed to be here.
Who's recognizing he's not supposed to be here?
Anybody
up
who
in a
walks,
corner,
literally
covered by boxes.
Literally any employee who walks through here. Like I think what Sleazel was saying is that if someone just walks through and they're like, I wonder, like the delivery's not here yet. It's usually here by now, and they just walk around and see that there's someone knocked out in there. They know they've been robbed.
That works. Just how about Elle hands him to me because I'm pretty strong to it.
We can leave him inside.
And we'll just stick him in.
We can leave him inside while we're sweeping the room, and then once we bring everything outside to make that transition, I think that's when we do that.
I'm concerned about exit strategy in the case that we have to piece out fast, and I don't want this body lying while I'm carrying boxes out. So at the very minimum, can he just be out of the way? I don't care where. I just want him not in my way.
That doesn't matter to me where he is in the meantime.
Cool. So I'm like, Elle's gonna like hop and be like, you know what? You take him. And then I just like go like scan rooms. It's like, I'm not dealing with this dude because I want him in a corner, but you don't want him in a corner, so that's fine.
I don't care if he's in a corner. I'm saying we don't leave him there.
I think
we can put him in a corner now, but when we leave the building, I think he needs to leave with us.
I think one thing we all know is that nobody puts a baby in a corner.
What I think we know is that Mackenzie's not a rogue because that wasn't very smart.
No, that's probably the least sneaky she could have been in all reality.
It was very Scooby-Doo.
Cool. So the dude's just there. Sweep away.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. And so
So first person, who's sweeping 2?
I will look at 2.
I'll move to 3.
And I don't mind going to 4 because I've been through all of these before.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go to 4, and I'll go and let you know my job is to be very quick. But yeah, anyway, go ahead.
Cool.
Do we need to like roll to
Yep,
figure out what's...
We're just going to do a investigation check.
Okay.
Each of you, or perception if for some reason that's better for you. Like it's just a raw perception.
First roll. First roll. Here we go.
Is it your first roll of the game?
Yeah.
Those dice.
It wasn't great.
Oh, these dice. These dice. All right, so let's start out with Tracy. We're just go with 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so 8 and 5, so it's
13
total. Yeah, sorry, math is
okay.
not my strong suit.
We're designers.
Yeah.
We're artists. Yeah.
I didn't get this far because my addition.
Yeah, so for the most part in 2, you find it's mostly empty boxes and crushed kind of scraps ready to go out. But you do find a couple small boxes left over of bandages, which was on your list. But for the most part, this room is kind of just like a trash room.
Okay, and so I've got like my back, like my Dungeoneers pack, presumably. So I'm just gonna like shove them in the bag. I'm not even gonna bother handing them out to Aslan at all.
Just as you're going around, just stuffing things in your bag. Okay, 3.
I rolled an 8. And I might be actually like popping my head in if I don't find enough stuff to just whisper to Elle, hey, can you maybe come help me check this room? It's a bigger room.
Yeah, all of a sudden maybe get nervous. Yeah, I would say, again, you find things in the room. Like you're finding like the tongue depressors and all those type of things, but nothing that's on your list.
Okay, all right.
Do you want me to just do like another like roll and check?
You can give him a help. Yeah, help would just be, again, same roll you had.
I did not help. I did not.
Yeah.
I did not help.
Patrick, you're in room 4. Can you give us an investigation roll?
Explain to me how this roll works.
So you roll D20 and you add either investigation. If your investigation is a minus, just give me a raw perception.
What would raw perception be?
Let me get my sheet. And
Here's what I would do in the meantime, because it sounds like you rolled poorly. If this were a real world scenario, and I quickly scanned the room and didn't find anything, I would move on into the next room to help the next person. So I'm following into room 4.
We can do that, yeah. So I mean, how bad? So you're not at your Sleazel. Where's Sleazel's chart?
Oh, it's very
while you check.
Chart.
Once I botched my check, I'm gonna move back into room 2 and just kind of like post up by this door in case anyone like rolls through. We trying real hard to stay like hidden.
We gotta deal with it, so I would keep an eye out.
Yeah,
Sure.
so I'm gonna like post up at this door just in case somebody gets nosy.
Sure.
And I'm within earshot, so if you need me, like,
Did you say jorts?
Yeah,
Me?
He's wearing shorts.
Patrick, so your perception, it would be a 0, it looks like, on my writings, because your wisdom is 0.
Yeah, I rolled a 5. Rolled a 5.
Not too good.
I got 3 + 2 using my investigation. I got a 5. So I want to be clear that I'm just going to grab the thing that looks most expensive to me.
Okay, yeah, so maybe you go up on the counter, you just see something shiny and metal. You don't even know what it is right away. You just stick it right in your bag.
Yes.
Potentially, it's the Broadstone mask. Like, it's getting in the way of your vision. All right.
Is
Andrew.
anyone calling out for me to join
in.
to also help? Or
I came in with a
Eris is
13.
rolling?
Okay, 13. You find the antiseptics in one of the drawers. Maybe underneath the shiny thing. You open a couple drawers. You're like, this is what you need.
So we would know at this point because I do not remember the list of things.
It's in the
what
intel
we
box
have
in
left.
If you
Figma.
go in Figma to the bottom, I wrote it for you guys. There's also some other notes in there from
We
you
got
guys.
antiseptics, we got bandages. We just didn't get the cyclozine or the antibiotic.
But we got oxygen, which is already on the bike out front.
So we have, okay, cool. I was like, how sweet.
Ooh, fine.
I have the oxygen. So we need the like drugs.
You like how I put the "and" on a list? That's irresponsible.
We don't need. These are things that were requested.
I think we
Can we
got
do
enough
a quick perception check to see if anyone's coming? If they're not, do another round of like checking.
You can't because you're outside. I mean, you can, but like no one's bothering
Okay.
you outside.
Still, no one's
you're
coming.
good.
Okay, cool.
Here's the thing.
6
So
was like a
I'm sorry.
Tracy?
Go ahead.
like what was in room 6 again? That was just like a patient's room.
It's another patient room. It's very similar to
Okay.
3 and 4.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
alright.
talking to you, Andrew, since you're the only person that can hear me right now, I think based on my rolls, I'm itching to get out of here. I think that's what I'm feeling right now. So I'm ready to just go deal with this body that's suddenly become a headache and just to go ahead and take off.
While you do that, I think that's a good idea for you. While you guys go take care of that, I might try to sneak into room 6 and see what I can find, because I am a rogue, so I can roll for stealth and I can do that.
Let me ask you this, Will. Looking outside the door, how deep, I guess, long is this parking lot? Like, if I drag a body across it, I'm assuming that's going to be pretty obvious.
Can you put your pointer where you're talking about?
So if I come out this door here,
Yep.
and I'm wanting to get the body to an area that I feel like is, if someone was to find it, they wouldn't necessarily think it's associated with the building.
There's a lot of
How
Yeah,
far
I would
is it?
say your best bet would to bring it to another building. Right?
Okay.
It's kind of more of an alleyway. There's no parking lot really. It's kind of just like little alleyways with kind of little cutoffs. So the bike is technically like almost like just on the side of the road.
I see. So if
I have it kind of pulled over
Yeah.
to the side of the building.
so
You're little though.
I was gonna say, I was like, what's the height differential here? Because I should
didn't
probably.
say I could do this.
Okay.
Yeah, he's spotting. He's like, where can we put this body?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Gotcha.
figure out, do I see a spot where I think a body would be decently obscured?
Yeah, you probably see like a sort of like a dumpster type compartment, like one building down.
Oh man, that's basically the size of a building compared to me. Okay, great.
Yeah, you can hide in there if you want with the body.
Don't want
Okay,
to.
so
Thank you.
just roll call. Ray, you're staying outside, hidden, kind of protecting the bike for now.
Yep. Chilling.
Patrick, you're looking around, looking for spots maybe to put this body.
Yes.
Tracy, you are currently in with the body as well.
I'm with the body. I'm essentially assuming that I'm gonna like drunken stagger, like he's like he's my buddy coming from a night, and we're gonna like
A surgery
stumble.
or
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna like escort this dude out like on.
So you're
my
kind of working
shoulder.
with Patrick on getting the body out.
Yes.
And then Andrew,
Yes.
you're up against that door, looking into almost trying to get into 5.
Into 5 to pursue 6, yeah. And I rolled a 19 for stealth.
Ooh.
Yeah, sure. So you open that
Smooth.
door, and what I would say is, it's very well lit. So you open the door very quietly and maybe cautiously. We'll use your stealth as a caution more than anything. But you do see now that there are 2 patients kind of waiting in the chairs, waiting to be called in, and there's a guard in the corner.
Okay, then I turn around and I come back. I
So
shut the door. I shut the door very quietly, and then I make my way back through.
I'm gonna assume, like, are we just gonna like pretend I move this body and like blip him off the screen, or
Yeah, we
like
can do that.
okay.
Why don't you give me a sleight of hand check, one of you?
Let me do it. I'll do it.
What?
Yeah,
Does
I
it
mean,
have
Ray
to be
can do
one
it,
of
but he's
us?
outside.
Oh yeah, Ray can do it. Yeah, she's a rogue.
Yeah.
My dexterity is high, and so is my sleight of hand ish.
But I'm proficient in sleight of hand, and so should Ray be, I believe.
Fair.
I think I had 4 to it, so 13, 14, 17.
17's plenty. So maybe you and Elle kind of go up. You see Elle kind of walking out with the body half on the shoulder. And you may just run over and like quickly, like over your back shoulder, kind of toss the body into the dumpster.
Where's the dumpster, by the way?
Somewhere
Over
like
here.
maybe across the street or right here, yeah, ish. Could be down here if we wanted, but maybe right around here.
Great. Body dumpster.
In the vicinity.
Okay,
Body
and
and
then
dumpster.
here's what I'm okay. Let me think about this. Do I want to make it look like there was a delivery? Like we could take some of the paper towel boxes
If we're
put
leaving,
'em-
does it matter?
and put them right inside the door, and then it could look like a delivery happened and they just brought the wrong stuff. That might buy us even more time. How long do these tranquilizers last?
Didn't say on the package.
Yeah, we don't know. Let's just get out of here.
Let's just
No
get
one knows-
out. We need to get
No
the
one
fuck
knows
out. We're
who
fine.
we are. We don't need to buy any more time.
Okay.
As long as
The
no one's
oxygen's
hurt
pretty
us.
big, so I'm gonna kickstart that. Wait, how does the motorbike turn on?
If you want it to kickstart, it kickstarts.
Okay.
I'm thinking like I'm hopping on a Harley and driving it off right now.
A little
I'm
moped.
just
Is
gonna-
Aslan gonna try to like hide? Do you not want to drive this because you're kind of like out in
That's what I was
public?
gonna say. We
I guess
we know
so,
that
huh?
we know that Sleazel has ridden a motorbike already in this campaign.
Poorly.
One of us is pretty
It shouldn't really be
good.
dogged, poorly though.
Bill, do you want to take it?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
You
I'm
good taking
gonna,
this?
I'm
Okay.
gonna get on this like bike because like
Cool,
I've
cool.
already like
Oh.
moved the body. We're
Cool, cool.
like Aslan and I have moved back to the bike. She's gonna fade into shadows. I'm probably not even gonna look for the rest of y'all and just take
Good,
this
you're good.
bike.
Yeah, let them disappear into the crowd.
I'm gonna actually go with Sleazel, and we're gonna head up to the
Third
third floor.
Third
Yeah.
floor.
Sounds like a good
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll go
that-
meet you
This
up.
is a classic split the party moment.
I'm going
I'm
to
gonna go meet
Raji's.
Elle.
I'm going Raji's. Bye.
Okay.
Yeah, wherever that is.
So wait.
Weep.
Yeah.
So you kind of take the bike and then you kind of turn back left where you saw him come from and hit the main vein to get to
Yeah.
Raji's.
Is that the way to Raji's? Because whichever way it is, that's
I mean,
where I'm going.
there's a lot of ways, right? Like it's all those back
Okay.
alleys. There's like that main drag that's like probably quicker.
Yeah, I don't want to go to I don't want to like drive past the front of the shop for sure.
I-
So
I would-
and the
yeah.
front would
would
be in the
instruct-
alleys more than the main drag.
I would
Right.
instruct you guys to before you left to make sure you keep your faces covered while you're doing all the transport, because you're no long once you leave me, you're no longer in camera jamming zone.
Yeah,
I am
I would have
disgruntled.
imagined you go the other way. So yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm in the shadows
disgruntled
behind her.
about
Cool.
covering my beautiful face, but
So
fine.
again, this is going to sound redundant. So Patrick and Andrew, you guys are going to go to like the second floor. You're aiming to get into that third floor.
No. But we're gonna
Go on the outside.
fly
Right.
up
That's
like
what I
we
meant.
did
Yeah,
before,
you're going to go
yes.
up the ladders, kind of like potentially that little air duct thing.
Yes, except
Cool.
last time I think he just flew me.
I did fly you, but I'm not going to do that right now because this is the morning.
And
There's
then
more. Yeah.
Tracy, you're on the bike itself. Ray, are you also like on the bike and Tracy's?
No, I'm more like trailing her in the shadows and just heading the direction. Like we have the meetup spot. I'm watching kind of periphery, seeing if anybody's noticing something going on, kind of keeping check on her, make sure she's good.
Cool. I think that makes total sense. So Tracy or Elle, as you kind of spin that bike around and go down, what you see in the main drag is a much larger truck that he came from. He was just doing a small delivery into the alleys from this main truck, and the main driver on that truck like spots you instantly because it's been a while, and you see him like reach out the door. He's like, "Hey!" and he starts the truck up, and he's starting to chase you down the road.
And I would have seen this, so I'm now tailing behind him, and I want to try to jump on the back of the truck stealth.
Oh, I think, yeah, as like it's a pretty big truck in this like way. So once he gets going, it's gonna be hard to get him to stop. But I think for like now, you'll be totally fine.
I'm not trying to outrun this truck because I'm a little giddy and excited. I'm just like, oh, good, more. And there's only one of you? Great. Because I know she's back there shadowing me with her totally unused paralysis dart. So I'm not trying to outrun this truck. I'm like, oh no, where am I going? Like
Yeah, that's
trying
fine.
to like kind of like let him catch up. He's like, yeah, maybe I want to get into an altercation. Maybe I want him out of that truck. So I'm not trying to like book it.
Yeah. Would you say you as far as just like pull over so he can catch up? Is that like how bad you're doing this?
Yeah,
I
I think
imagine
like I think I'm miming like ineptitude at this
Okay,
point where I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
like I'm like afraid and I'm like I'm like freaking out to like lower his guard, right? Where I'm just like I'm
Yeah, sure. So he pulls the truck right behind, and he like starts to climb out of like this big rig, and he pulls from the passenger seat like a billy club.
And I am
kinda tie
sneaking up
rod type of
behind
thing.
him. Let's note that.
It's totally
I'm
fine. I'll have you roll a stealth check whenever you want to act, but
Yeah.
that'll be your only thing. And he's gonna like start approaching Elle. on
And
the
where?
little bike.
Okay, are we in like an alley? Like, did you pull off?
I can
Where
show
did you
you
pull off?
exactly
Because
where you
I
are.
imagine we're not going to do this on the main drag,
I
knowing
mean
we want to.
if it's big
rob
enough for a
him.
truck, there's gonna be enough folks here, right?
Okay. Ooh.
Whoa.
Too many things. Sorry,
Whoa,
people
whoa,
of yours.
whoa.
Okay, so leaving those off for now. So you guys were inside. I can't remember what number you were in, but you were inside kind of one of these districts. You guys pulled out onto one of these main big roads, which is called the Vein, and you started going down towards Raji's. So you are no longer like in between all these buildings. You're like out on this main kind of interstate.
Okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And I want to sneak up behind him and dart him in the neck, like I've been waiting to do.
Yeah, sure. So just give me the stealth check.
Oh, 19 plus whatever my stealth is. Plus 4.
Plenty.
A lot.
Yeah, so you just come up behind him, and as like he's approaching L with this like kind of tie rod looking thing, you just see him kind of like his knees give out, and he kind of just drops next to the truck.
And I just say shh and like start pushing him
Yeah.
back into the truck.
And I'm like gesturing like Aslan just because it's a cab, so there is cover, and I want like I'm just like get
Yeah,
back
I'm
in.
just
and
gonna
not-
like he barely got out, so pink back and
I'm telling Aslan like get in the truck and drive it because I'm gonna get back on this little. I'm like getting back onto my moped, and then we're just gonna like convoy it down this main thoroughfare.
Okay.
I'm
Because-
incredibly proud. Metagaming. I'm incredibly proud of our team right now.
Because we are split party, the scene is going to transition now to Eris and
I was sweating a
Sleazel,
bit there.
who is
I was so
probably
excited. I'm just like action
in this third floor store that's being like kind of built up. I think we said it was like a restaurant or cafe type of thing.
Mhm. I'm gonna roll for stealth to peek my head in and see if there's anyone in there because I know that they were working on it.
Yeah. Also, I believe we said it was locked. So
Yeah,
give
I'll
me
pick,
a.
I'll lock pick and then I'll do that.
Yes, Perfect.
18
Yeah, it's
sleight of hand
totally fine.
and 11 stealth.
Yeah, it says like it's good enough. Like you creep it open just a tiny bit, and you do see a couple fairly skinny elves, kind of hipster looking, like just setting up chairs and starting to like work on this like espresso machine behind the counter.
Okay, so I'll pop my head back out. I'm still kind of still crouched down there. Sleazel, there are a couple of people. There it looks like they're just doing some setup. I have an idea. It might be risky. You just let me know what you want to do. What do you think about us going in as people who are working on the air ducts and needing to check something out in the building? I mean, it would show your face, some of my face. I mean, you can't go in wearing your mask.
I mean, you could.
Don't
There's
we-
nothing stopping you.
Don't we all wear masks every day though?
Good Lord. All right.
y- do you have a clipboard? Do we have something that like
props.
I
Yes,
have.
props.
I don't have a clipboard.
okay.
Can you believe that I don't have a clipboard as a
I'm
rogue?
Hey,
surprised.
if let's say
It's
if you needed
tempting.
one, perhaps one of you just took a clipboard
Swiped it.
from when you were like cleaning out the spaces. Maybe Sleazel, because he couldn't find anything of worth, also took a clipboard.
I saw the shiny part on the top of the clipboard.
I just took it.
Look at all these pens.
I mean,
I-
I'm totally fine with it. Like if they just look like bartenders or like baristas.
They're just like the
or
owners
something.
of this restaurant.
Yeah, the owners of this new place they're setting up.
I'll roll with it. Here's the thing though, I'm the new guy, so like
I'm gonna be doing most of the talking.
you're the one doing the talking. This is my first day on the job.
Okay.
Okay.
Are there comms? Like we have our like.
You
have
can
we-
use your IDs to call each other.
One second.
Have we?
I
so,
turned mine
okay,
off.
so like
Can they be
Okay.
tracked?
okay. Well then I'm just gonna send a little text, right? I'm gonna like voice to like I was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
ID send message to dummies and like
yeah. The group chat.
You have us saved in your compad as dummies?
I feel it vibrate.
Aslan,
I shut it off
dummy
immediately.
One, dummy two.
Don't even
yeah,
check.
yeah, no.
I do check it.
Yeah, what's
And
it
so
say?
I'm sending like a message being like bigger like we got more shit or something like
Yeah.
that, being like lots more stuff gotten. I kind of wish I'd
He
taken a
said
selfie.
He really
like
needs to take a shit.
I did say that. I'm sharing with you all. I'm becoming vulnerable.
Autocorrect
this
is getting
group.
really weird.
He did say
Still
that.
not fixed in the future.
I love the idea of
Like-
having to roll for autocorrect. Like,
How accurate is this message?
listen. I'm throwing out a
That's
mechanic
important.
right now. It won't happen this session. I love the idea if we want to text a message, we have to privately send it to Will, roll for autocorrect, and if it's a bad roll,
I
Will's
switch
going
it
to
around.
change some of the words and then give us the new message.
I love that.
That-
That-
I
yeah.
really want to do that.
That's
I think we all sign up for that.
That's a
I really
good
wanna do
freaking
that.
idea.
That is a
Just
good
throwing
idea.
it out there
what
right
is
now.
that check? Is that a
Well, it's
not
too
the
late now because you already
dexterity.
told him you already said what the message is supposed to be.
Yeah, we'll do it from now on. But let's finish this rule right now.
That's awesome. In your face,
Performance?
everybody else
Would it
is
be
out.
I was gonna
performance
say
check?
part of me wants it to be performance. The other part of me kind of wants it to be survival, because it just seems appropriate.
Well,
but
Could it not be
dexterity?
dexterity?
Yeah.
you just want to do raw dexterity? Yeah, that
Yeah.
could work.
Well, I thought it would be voice. Are we not doing voice? Because I don't actually.
Oh
like,
yeah,
type
voice.
shit.
Yeah,
Voice to text.
So voice would be performance. Texting would be dexterity.
I like it.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
I
I
like
like
that
it.
a lot.
This is
Look
good.
at us.
In your face, anyone who has ever played Dungeons and Dragons without this.
Yeah, without tech.
Okay, so did you actually say your message? Did you finish that before we started creating homebrew?
Before we really got into it. I was just saying, like, I sent some message lets know, like more supplies acquired. Like, I don't know how many, but I'm letting them know, like, I'm not saying like
got
we
more.
got a truck, because that doesn't make sense. Like, more supplies acquired or something like
Yeah.
that, and then short
All right.
message. And that's
Hey,
it.
Sleazel, I would show Sleazel my compad. What do you want to do? I mean, I know this is kind of your baby, but they may need some help now that they are saying that they have more. It's at least not just the bike.
Okay. I mean, I recognize some of this is internal dialogue, some of it's external dialogue. I recognize we're not getting.
Say the external, because we wouldn't hear your internal.
Yeah.
But
I
the
kind of
listeners
only
might
want to
wanna
hear the
hear it.
external out of context, to be honest,
Yeah,
because it would
exactly.
sound amazing.
We're not getting paid for more. You and I could come back separately when this is done, and we could go for this ourselves. So let's just go ahead and we'll call it right now.
Okay, then I grab
But
you
I
with my
can
talons
ride
and I
on you?
fly,
Okay.
and now I fly with you.
Thanks. And I
And
would
now
like
we
to outstretch my
fly.
arms if I could. Thank you.
So what I would say, back
Take me.
with Elle and Aslan, like, people have seen this, right? You're kind of in one of those throughways where, like, there are multiple motor vehicles, but there's also people on foot just like traveling back and forth. What do you guys want to do now that you have kind of this big dude kind of unconscious next to the cab, and there's the little bike in front, that the little bike can go right into the back of the cab? Like, the I don't know, the cab is the front. I don't know what you call the trailer part. Maybe it's just the trailer. So what do you guys want to do? What's the plan here?
Was he too big for me to have just like done it so quick and pushed him in? He wasn't like fully.
I was gonna say that would have been valuable information at the start. His like relative size.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I said big dude comes out with
Big,
tire
okay,
iron.
I missed that. Apologies. Yeah.
No, it's good. So just give me a strength check, and we'll let the dice decide if you're strong enough for this.
And guys, this check right now won't be against the prediction. It'll be the first dice roll once the prediction is done. The 2 minutes. Okay, so just I want to note this now. This is not for the prediction.
I don't know what any of that means, but
That's
11.
the chat.
It's
for
a
the
okay.
good chat.
It's chat.
They vote on
It's chat.
predictions for roles.
Edmund1 is
11.
really big on gambling.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're about to shift the whole format. So
I got an 11.
Yeah, no, 11. You like try to lift him up, and potentially Elle sees you, and you maybe got his shoulders up, but you can't like get it up into the cab.
All right, then I'm just gonna shove him on the ground,
Just let him drop.
like point back for her
Yeah.
to take the bike back, and then hop in, and start her up so we can go. It's probably still on. I don't even know if he turned it off.
Yeah, no,
He got out
still,
so fast.
Still rumbling.
Yeah. So yeah,
Still
I'm gonna signal
rumbling.
for her to go in the back and get in. Just
And
leaving
so
him
at
there.
this point, like, yeah, like we're starting to get going, and in my head, I'm like, okay, so we only get paid for like we're getting paid a flat fee no matter the income, and I'm trying to think of how we can check the contents so that like, because if I don't know if like Raji's got like, do we know if Raji has like
A fence.
a warehouse that we just heist roll up into, or I don't know if we know this information.
I
at
don't
all.
think you would expect him to.
Okay.
What Raji does isn't illegal per se, right? Like,
Right.
he's getting hired to do jobs for other people. He wouldn't be like storing things and like illegal things like that.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm just gonna drive forward because at this point, like it would have happened so quick that if she wants to drive into the back, she can, or she can follow. But I know a lot of places to hide shit since I'm always in the shadow, so I'm just driving this truck
Perfect.
out
So
of
you
this
guys
area
go.
as
Yeah.
fast as
So I'm
possible.
kind of dithering, and I see like Aslan's just driving ahead, and I'm
Yeah.
taking cues and assuming that there's a place to go. So I'm just following Aslan at this point.
Okay. So you did not put the bike in the trailer yet. You're just following kind of
She
behind.
took too long, so I just started going because I
No,
didn't
no,
Yeah,
want
no.
to.
that's
Yeah,
totally
I'm not
fine.
putting
Yep.
the bike anywhere because it has all the like the tanks in the back, and that would have been laborious to have to like empty it. I assume I don't know if you can just like load it in. So we're just convoying it yet again,
Totally
but
good.
in reverse.
So they take off. I would believe Sleazel and Eris would come out to the road and they'd be gone, right? Almost said she. He was probably texting you. It's the long blue hair.
Long, beautiful hair.
What does that have to do? Men can be beautiful in blue.
I guess in Lord
Yeah,
of
haven't
the
you
Rings
seen
and
the Blue Man group with their long, beautiful hair?
But yeah, so they were probably texting you on the way out because of all that, how quick that was
It's
going.
purple,
So you guys,
right?
I can't
It's
tell.
blue right now.
It's purple and blue, and then
Yeah.
there's streaks in it.
Patrick and I
Because
were
the
both
lights are
right.
literally purple and blue, so you're not gonna be able to
I was
distinguish
trying to
what's
decide
highlight
if I
and
needed
what's
to go
not.
to a doctor. That's it. So
No.
Well, you do, but it's for the growth.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
Not for the
Uh,
eyesight.
So what do you two want to do now that you come out to the road and there's like they're all gone?
Yeah.
How far you want to fly me? We got to start walking now. Is that what you're gonna make me do? Are you not
Are
talking to
you
me anymore?
asking me?
Yes, we just
Oh,
came out to
okay.
the. Okay,
I thought
we're not
so-
talking. Is that what just
I
happened?
thought you, Will. I thought you started asking that question to L and to.
Oh, I'm sorry, no, to you both. Elle and
We're gone.
We're
Aslan
gone.
are just driving. I believe you guys said
I-
either to some kind of secrety thing that we'll have to discuss what that actually means soon, or to Raji's.
No,
Okay.
I think we would. I think we would go to wherever we said we would meet up. But if that was Raji's, then we'll just go there.
Yeah, I mean, my issue is I don't want them to get paid out and us not be there when that happens.
They can't get paid out because I have the contract on my comm device.
Okay, so in that case, you want to get lunch or breakfast? I
God.
guess. Do you want to get breakfast? Or we
I-
need-
While
would-
we're out, we're picking up new teammates.
I would be immediately just making my way back to wherever we said our meetup location was.
okay, can you just
Yeah,
walk
I would
slow?
assume Raji.
Is there public
Yeah.
transportation?
Why are you so?
No, not
why
Ring
why
4.
do you not want to be back with them?
He's got tiny legs.
No,
No, he doesn't want to walk.
I just.
Yeah.
It's not that I want to meet back with them. It's just like, breakfast. I don't understand what you don't understand about breakfast, and I guess
Okay.
I'm struggling a little bit.
we're
but
gonna split the party in twain again because
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
no.
go on without you if you're not
No,
coming.
that's
with me.
right. That's what we're going on. But what I'm saying is, I think we're really far away from Raji. So how can we get there? Are you gonna fly
I'm
me?
flying.
Oh,
That goes back to the first question that you thought I was
Where are you
asking
going?
Elle and Aslan. Patrick was wondering, are you going to fly him?
that's
all the way?
that's the first question I asked you is how far are you gonna fly me?
You have to understand I didn't have context
Yeah,
at
no.
the time, so
Hey, it just took us about 5 minutes, but we're back. We're
I-
I
back
also
there.
love that I imagine they're actually bickering about shit the entire time they're in,
In
the
the
air.
middle of the middle of the flying.
dodging.
I'm gonna
Dodging the
I'm gonna
billboards.
release one talon. So he's
I want to ride on your
Hey,
Oh,
back.
sorry, it hit you off something.
Yeah.
I want to ride on your
Um,
back, and I want to fist pump while I'm riding through the air.
You're not gonna do it.
Yay.
You're not. I'm not gonna let you.
This scene reminds me, I don't know if you guys played Wind Waker, but I
Yes.
feel like there's a scene where like the eagles like picks you up with those eagle
Yeah.
people.
Yep. So that's what we're doing, and I'm just
Cool.
flying to that meetup spot. Yeah.
Patrick, this is probably a long time.
You don't
coming.
know
You
the
could probably
meetup
turn off
spot.
the map. We're no longer there, so if you want to just transition us
Yeah,
back to
I didn't even like the map.
yeah. So you guys are both going to Raji's. Let's go back to Elle and Aslan. And I guess at this point it would be more Aslan, who's maybe frozen. Oh, wait,
Yeah, and we're not
before we
going
do that,
to
one
that
sec.
spot.
Ray,
we're not going to
can you
Raji's.
move your head to the left like 6 inches? Is your ring light like a clown face?
Oh,
Because
It's just the warped glass.
no, it's
Okay,
the, it's
I
the
was like,
warp.
that's really weird. Okay,
Okay, says the guy with the pickle behind him.
it's not. It's a weird cyborg room. Where do you want to go?
Actually, you just took the map away, but basically, I want to take it into an area that is dark. So she would have known areas that are off the grid a little bit. because I don't want to be on the main road, and it won't be where Sleazel or Eris know about because we did it on the fly. So I need a spot
Yeah.
that a truck can fit, and whether that's an alleyway or like a.
So what I would say is like the most of this culture thing. There might be a couple roads, side roads you could take this truck, but almost all trucking happens within the vein.
Mhm.
There are warehouses that like go up to the vein. That is where this truck probably came from.
Mhm.
So
No, like
we
deserted areas that like.
it's no, because there's like this is the most overpopulated ring.
Right.
It's all like packed full of people.
What
Right,
about
so
rough parts of town where people don't ask questions? Like people
Right.
don't get into other people's business. Let's put it that way.
She
So we
would
could do-
hang there.
Yeah, and what we could do say is like perhaps you have a contact that would be like I know where a warehouse I could use, but we're gonna do it
100%
as
would.
but we're gonna do it as a survival check. So if you
Okay.
want to roll your d20, I don't know if
Both of
Patrick, if
us?
we're past. Well,
You're
so
not following.
so-
You're following me.
right.
I'm
You're not
following. Okay.
in the
Okay.
truck.
Okay.
Patrick, would this roll be for the game, the gambling?
I had to refund it because everybody voted on the same side.
Cheaters.
So what
Right,
I'm
just
saying is like everybody could have lost everything, but nobody, but like not
There's
won
zero
anything.
winning.
Nobody could have won anything.
So I just refunded the points.
It happens. All right. I think survival's near the bottom there.
Yeah, it's a 0, so we're gonna straight roll
Just
here.
raw, yeah.
Don't fall off the table. 19.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Plenty. You guys know, we don't need to know district because who cares? You find a district, you drive this truck. It's definitely not near Raji's, right? It's probably on the opposite side, kind of like separate where there's more rundown shops.
Yep.
But you have a warehouse, you know a guy who will like temporarily at least house this truck until he figures out like what's going on.
Yeah, and I would just get it in there, have a quick convo, and basically like whistle at L. I can't actually whistle, so you're gonna have to imagine that.
Andrew, could you
And
whistle,
tell her
please?
to like get in the back and go through it all,
Go ahead, Andrew.
so that
Would
we
you-
can just go through it.
You need to
Yeah.
whistle, please, because she doesn't know how to whistle.
That's so
There you go.
good.
Oh,
You're
thank
good
you.
at that.
And yeah. So I guess
If
we're
that's
like
nothing. You should hear my my what's his name, Patrick? My Morgan Freeman impression.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead and do it
that will
first.
come back later then. Okay.
So yeah, basically they'd close the doors right after the bike went in. I'd have a little talk, whistle her over to the back, and we're gonna start pulling it apart to grab whatever we want out of it. And I'll that's enough.
can you
This
tell
one
us what's
from
in the
Osh.
truck, Will? Or do we have to like perception this?
No, I can tell you.
Okay.
So most of it is just random food and stuff like that, right? He's been doing multiple trips. Like the pharmaceuticals part was like one stop, but it's mostly food. There's probably some clothing in there too, but for the most part, it's just like giant boxes that he was going to make the stop all day. Nothing in there is like particularly valuable. The pharmaceutical stuff was probably up like one of the more valuable things. But I'll also, by the end of the day or by the end of the session, I'll get my random tech chart and we'll roll you a few things and we'll just like randomly generate a few tech items that you guys can walk away with.
Okay.
What I would propose, and you guys tell me if this is fair, you'll walk away with the 3 tech items. Everything else on this truck, maybe payment for the warehouse. And when I
Right,
say
well,
payment
so-
for the warehouse, so we don't have to figure it out.
That's basically part of what I was gonna say. Is I was gonna walk out with some goods for the buddy who just helped and
Yeah.
handed
So
it
what I would
over.
say is we'll roll 3 tech items later,
Yep.
just add them to your thing.
Sure.
You have the bike maybe with the stuff on it that you could take to Raji's and leave the truck here.
Yep.
And then
you can keep the truck. We don't
yeah.
need it.
Are you sure you don't want parts scavenger from the truck?
Well, we gotta let them know what's going on. I can't
I have
imagine
a-
I would
I
have
have
seen
a
anything,
comm.
but
I have a comm to message at least some of the dummies at some point.
update them. Yes.
Update them, so I'm not like really pressed for time.
And we'll say Aslan, you are a scavenger, right?
Yes.
Cool. So we'll say that the guy also gives you like 100 credits for the truck.
Cool.
There it is.
I like
Cool. Okay. And so then is it agreed that we're like I would like the bike. Since she's getting paid
Yeah,
for
we're
truck,
bringing the bike with us.
like
to get
I want the bike.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not schlepping this stuff. So yeah, everything's like been loaded on since there wasn't really any like new stuff. And then I guess I'm gonna huddle with Aslan to see if we're going
Elle,
back.
do we want to meet here or do we want to meet back? Like, do we want to just meet them and hope that they wait for us at Raji's? Because this is going to take a little while, and they may think we're running away with this shit. So
I don't particularly care about where they're at mentally with this. I'm just gonna I'm doing a job, right? We're all doing our job. They split off for their little side venture, and I'm taking care of my job, which is like
Metagaming,
stuff.
you left us. What are you talking about?
You guys literally drove away. So like,
we're not here. We're having a conversation.
Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna call bullshit on that. That's some garbage.
I mean, that's
And I
think we
can't hear
all-
you.
Yeah,
And
maybe
I
maybe
can't hear
Eris is
you.
texting back being like, "Why did you guys leave us?"
Yeah.
I
I
could do
can't
that.
hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh,
and
can we do that thing now? Because I have a message I'd like to send her.
Sure. So
I'll
do you want to
I'll
send to me on
message you.
Slack?
I'll message you on Slack.
Yeah.
send a
And so yeah, I
message.
guess like, since there's no real spoils besides this, I'm like, okay, so like we have our stuff. I don't want to hold it, so I'm thinking we just go back to Raji's.
Fill up packs, and is the bike big enough for me to hop on the back of it or no?
Yeah, you could do one of those cool like hanging on the back.
Yeah. I'm
Can
totally
she
good
please
with that.
roll to
With my,
determine
like,
how cool
cloak.
it is?
Yeah,
My
can you
cloak.
give me
Blowing.
Ooh,
can you give me a performance to actually see how cool this hanging is?
Oh jeez.
I'm excited for it.
My Wacom tablet has turned into my dice roller.
That's a good use for expensive
performance?
equipment.
Oh no, -1, so 14.
Oh,
Super not cool.
Oh no, 14.
No,
14
yeah,
still
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
it's a 15 minus 1.
Right. I
Okay.
was just like
Okay.
You can't roll a -1, guys. Come on.
I was like, actually, Elle drove off without you.
Yeah.
No.
Hello.
I'm
Yeah,
making this a habit.
you look pretty cool, but you're masked, so no one knows it's you.
Yeah. Well, and I got the hood over.
Yeah.
Holding the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more about feeling cool than looking cool.
Yeah.
All right, Patrick, do you have anything you want to do while I believe Andrew is attempting to text them? Oh, it went up to the top. All right, so why don't you give me? Are you doing voice or are you doing fingers?
Well, he's
Dexterity or,
flying, so
dexterity or
I'm gonna do-
performance?
No, but I'm flying, but I have arms. My wings are separate from my arms.
that's a lot of multi.
Birds are weird.
I will.
Bird people are weirder.
I will text. I'll text.
Okay, so dexterity.
Yeah.
So I think let's start this off with just a 10, right? It gives you more than 50% chance of doing it successfully. So
Will, are you gonna text me the message and I can choose to like read it out loud, or are you
if
just
that's
gonna,
what you
like-
want?
Ooh.
Alright.
I would think that if it goes into canon, like that seems less fun if you're not reading the text out
He really
loud.
wants it
You
read.
should read it out loud.
Well, what I'm
and-
saying is, am I gonna
Oh.
read it? Am
So-
I reading it, or is Will reading it?
If he
Is Will
fails,
narrating
I
it?
have to
Am I
read
reading
it wrong.
Right, exactly.
Right.
If
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
right,
Okay.
you get to read it.
But
Okay.
but like you have to purposely like replace words with other words.
Right.
Gotcha.
All right, so I'm just trying to get higher than a 10, is what you're saying?
Yeah, we're gonna start there just to see how crazy this is.
Since we're
It's
making
like-
up an entire
Yeah.
dynamic here.
We're beta testing this homebrew.
Do I get a modifier, or is it just a
Yeah.
straight
So
roll?
texting, you add your dexterity.
Okay, just
If
straight
it's
dexterity.
voice, was that?
Just straight dexterity?
Yeah, and if it's if it's voice, you're doing performance. I think we said
I got a 12.
12 is fine. So it just says, "Hi Elle, where are you guys? We're on our way back to the meetup, but we are just flying, so it may take us a few extra minutes."
To be clear, I said hey L, not hi L.
Oh, you're right. You barely passed it, and I can barely read, so
So it worked out great.
it's gonna be great. This homebrew is
So we
amazing.
pull out- And so, like, at whatever point this is, I'm going to like take the information and be like, okay, and then like we're gonna proceed back. So I don't know what time elapse that text comes in versus how long it takes.
But
us
I
to, like-
asked you a question.
Yeah, I'm not answering that.
Yeah. He's not a great
I'm
friend.
busy. I am
So,
busy, and you are not part of my
He left
priority.
you on red is what I just heard.
I don't understand why you are trying to be against the party.
You don't know yet, so
I-
you wouldn't
So
be
I'm
upset about
currently-
it.
Like, as far as I know,
Yeah, he'd
y'all
still
are
be upset
flying.
about it.
You wouldn't know what's happening yet.
We're
Right, he'd still
driving
be
to a
pissed.
warehouse, like trying to covertly drive to a warehouse, search this truck, transfer materials, and also I have a badass like person riding my motorcycle. Like, you were
exactly.
not my
Wouldn't you-
priority at any
wouldn't you
point
want
up
our
until
help?
then.
Wouldn't you want us to be there to help you with all of this?
No,
He didn't need
mister,
you.
I take all the credits. No, I do not want your.
I didn't say I take all the credits. I said I have the contract on my comm.
I
So it's
know,
probably like
previous jobs.
11 a.m. now. It's probably like
Previous
3
jobs.
hours.
Andrew is telling me all of this right now, and I'm just listening. I'm just nodding my
that's
head.
literally. I'm like, what the heck is their
Rage
problem?
narrating.
We've
Yeah.
done nothing.
I'm just saying. We
Meanwhile,
didn't
Ellen and I are
share.
grabbing breakfast on the way.
He's like, he's
Some
really
burritos.
mad.
I
I
am. I'd be
We're-
pissed. If I sent you this message and you're not responding, I would be assuming something went wrong.
And so there's no message until I'm like, we are on the bike. Like I don't know at what point
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
sending me this text and where I am in the process that I just
So
laid
that's
out,
a good
right?
point. Like, if you were just flying and they were trying to get that truck back, and that's when you sent it, the idea is like there's no time to reply. Like they're trying to unload. They're trying to work with this mystery man that Aslan might kind of know.
I mean,
Are you
make
going
him
to
back in.
reply now that you're kind of just chilling on the bike on the way back?
Yes, now that we're ready to like head back, I'm willing to then answer the messages because Eris is not my boyfriend. He's not priority when I'm dealing with stuff. So we're just
Not
kind of
with
like
this, he's
heading
not
back
gonna
to Raji.
Can you roll your? So this is what we'll do. Changing the homebrew a little bit. Roll your dice first. If you fail, then text it to me. If not, just read it off yourself.
Okay, and in terms of fail, we're talking about below 10.
Less than 10. Yeah, if you're doing voice, performance,
Oh, no,
dexterity.
we're good.
hand.
It's
Cool.
17. That's
So
fine.
you can just reply straight to Andrew.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, just heading
Right,
to
so
Raji's
we don't have to
now.
worry about, yeah.
Like heading to Raji's with supplies now.
cool. I'll meet you there. I text her back.
And I am keeping an eye
I
out
got a
as we're
13.
driving to
We're
see if
great.
anyone's like tailing us or catching on.
No, you guys, like, again, we talked about, it's probably been hours at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, like, the warehouse worked out. You guys did all your rolls. Things are going pretty good. You now have a stolen bike. It has branding on it for the trucking company. So, like, that is theoretically, like, something you probably don't want forever.
Our cloaks kind of over it and all this stuff.
I do actually have that as an ability. I can disguise ships. I can disguise their signal and essentially make them thought to be any kind of vessel.
So that's
That is
more like
part-
that's like big ships, like spaceships.
What
All
kind
you
of
would need for
branding?
this is like you just need a spray can. Like,
I was gonna say, like at
Yeah.
that point, like if we're in this warehouse and it's like a sticker, the
Yeah.
sticker is getting scratched off or painted over or obscured in some way. So I'm not super worried about
Yeah,
that
no.
then.
I would like everyone to know that I feel like I'm flying and I'm having the best time of my life.
Are you texting the group that? Are you texting the group? I'm flying
No.
or something
I'm
like that.
internally
just chilled
I'm
out.
just internally enjoying it. The fact that it feels like I'm on like a.
Do you
a
have your
thrill ride.
keytar? Are you like
Oh,
doing
you-
riffs on your keytar while
No,
flying?
I don't have
Oh.
my
Really?
keytar.
That's such a missed opportunity.
It is in hindsight, but guys, I'm freaking flying right now.
Yeah, Andrew, can I get a dexterity check for the missing those billboards real quick? Let's see if you're still flying. I'm joking. That would just be
Oh.
terrible if you failed. So
I mean, it's a 14.
You
so I
do
think we'll
fine.
probably
Yeah,
do
you're
it.
fine. So is there anything else you guys want to do before just meeting back at Raji's?
We'd meet at Raji's, and I would imagine that we'd meet outside before going in, like to not step on toes.
So after a couple hours, I don't know how long it took you guys flying to get to Raji's, but I would assume you're there before El
Sure.
and Aslan. So they pull up and you guys see them on the bike. The bike looks maybe scratched up or like it's been spray painted over. And there's additional boxes now on top that weren't there earlier.
All right, let's go. Let's go in and get paid. I'm ready to get paid and be done with this.
So Aslan kind of hops off and grabs a crate
I mean, I'm
or
glad-
an oxygen tank.
By the way, have either of y'all ever flown before?
No.
It
We-
feels amazing.
We might not need to bring the stuff into. We might not need to actually unload the stuff.
I don't want this sitting out here.
I would have
So-
assumed we would have let Raji know. Again, I'm leaning real hard now on this like texting communication thing. It's just like I assume we would have alerted Raji that we were coming with the goods at some point to like coordinate this now.
So you're like, come
Do
outside.
we need to? Like let them know like we're on the way like with the goods.
Sure.
Like do we need to roll for that?
Yeah. So he comes outside and he starts looking through it. And he's like, you guys are missing about half the stuff I asked for. And he
Wait.
goes, and I think it's all the expensive stuff.
Hold on. Do you mean this? And I'm gonna pull whatever was out of my backpack and hand it to him.
Yeah. And it's like a medical grade scale. And he's like, I don't think so. I mean, toss it in, but like, guys, that isn't the magnesium sulfate. That's not the propofol, and it's definitely not the sizelazine.
I will take this moment to remind him that he said to get as much stuff as we can, and that's what the job was.
The
Yeah,
terms
like,
of
and
contract did not
also-
stipulate all.
He also
And he's-
communicated that he didn't want anybody hurt, and that was the best way to do that without anyone getting hurt.
All right. Why don't you give me a performance check to see if he just like lets it go?
Oh man, I just got a 17.
Yeah, and he's like, all right. I mean, it's not what I wanted, but it's something. It'll definitely help. And then he's like, we'll bring it upstairs to the what was the array, that store upstairs, the defense store, the fortified array. And he's like, we'll just like get this stuff up here. The guy from fortified array comes down. He starts like loading it up to his store. And then
It's a matter of payment.
yeah, and do we remember how much? I mean,
It was 300.
That's what I thought. Cool. So yeah, he just gives you the 300 credits, and he's like, "All right, we'll get you another job soon if you want one." I'm talking to a group right now that might work out. So currently, if we just like recoup a little bit, Ray, you just got 100 credits. So make sure you add it to your sheet.
Okay.
Andrew, you got 300 credits. Is there anything you guys want to do before we roll to find out those 3 tech things?
I want to get my credits.
I would give them each their credits.
Okay. So how are you going to split that up amongst the 4 of you?
For
To 75 each?
100, yeah, 75 each. So boop, boop, boop. And I have credits from that guy that I jumped in that lizard that I jumped, remember?
Right. I figured you just hold on to those.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I have those.
How much was that? Sorry.
75.
75? That was all for 75? Like,
Each.
It was 300 total.
Yeah,
and so it
we
was
knew-
75 for each of us.
But we knew that this was because we said that to him, and
Yeah.
and we knew that this was. That's also why we didn't risk ourselves because
Right.
it was
Yeah.
such a
Only that
low amount.
much.
I also
It was
want-
punishment for the last job.
It was also like you guys helping out for like more of a good cause. So there's some like philanthropy with this.
Yeah.
That's not
Philanthropiness. Nope, that's
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
That's
it's,
not-
It's very throppy.
Got half that word out and knew I didn't know how to finish it.
Philanthropic?
Philanthropy.
Philandering
Philanthropy.
propiness.
Philanthropic. Yeah.
But I
Um,
kind of like philanthropy, to be quite honest, because it's
It's-
philanthropic,
It's
right?
like it's like a werewolf. What's the werewolf? Lycanthropy?
Lycanthrope.
I can't remember. All right. So Patrick, what were you saying?
I just want you to know that whenever I use my scanner to beep things,
Yeah.
it plays the melody to Funky Town. So every time I
How many?
rescan something, yeah, every time I rescan, it plays the next note of the melody.
Okay. Each time so.
So you wanted all 75 of your credits individually.
Yes,
beep, 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 beep.
yes, that's how I like to
Could
do
it be instead of every transaction depends on the size of the transaction? So like 1,000 credits is the whole song.
That's a good hack. That's a good hack.
All right. What else could you guys want to do? Is there anything that you want to do before like going home for the night?
I'd say we'd go and probably grab food and just like
Yeah, let's go
decompress
get-
after.
Now let's go get breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get brunch.
You mean second
like-
breakfast?
Exactly. I was gonna say exactly. We had our burritos on the breakfast burritos on the back of the.
Mhm. Second breakfast.
Okay.
Shasta Chief said, lycanthropy. Lycanthropy. That's what they said is how you
Is
pronounce
this
the
the
word.
fastest you can say it?
Lycanthropy.
Yeah, that sounds
So
right.
That's very similar to what I was saying, but for someone who gives back money. All right. So while you guys are doing your breakfast, I'm gonna look up. We have this book I'm using for a bunch of the sci-fi supplement stuff. It's called Arcana of the Ancients, and it's a separate system that they ported to 5e. And in the back somewhere, they've got a table where you can just randomly roll for items. And because we're still level 1, they're low-level items that are usually one use only. So the type of things that you guys got in the beginning of this campaign. And I said 3, but would it be easier to do 4 and you each just get one?
Yes.
I
Okay,
mean,
let's-
if you want.
Well, so Aslan and Elle, are you sharing these 3 things?
So I was gonna
What I'll
tell you on
say
the
is,
thing.
if you're not sharing, I'm only giving you 3. If you share, I'll give you 4.
Yeah. I rolled for it and I pocketed one.
You can't roll if I don't see it.
No. Okay, no. Here's what I mean.
That's the way rolling works in D&D.
Just trust me, you
No.
will.
No.
Just
I
trust
meant
me.
it as like I could have been nice. I rolled for myself to decide whether I would be nice or not. So I would like to do a sleight of hand.
I get it.
Yeah.
So you need to give me a sleight of
Oh.
hand.
When did we
rolling?
when did we become so like?
In fairness, I think this is her character.
16.
But it's
Yeah.
not.
Why would you assume we're friends?
It's not Tracy's character.
Yeah.
It's
I
not.
literally
Ellen.
walked in
We are
late.
dead ass strangers. We don't know you. I have no reason to trust or like you at this point because y'all just kill baby lizards and like.
What do you mean, y'all? Again, I didn't drive away. I didn't blow up that lizard's head. I'm just this little be fun guy.
I believe we were all attacking the lizard. I just happened to overroll. I don't think that's my
That's
fault.
not the point.
No
I
one was
didn't
attacking
hit
the
it.
lizard, dude.
Absolutely, we were attacking.
In
the
fairness,
lizard.
I was like shooting wildly or something. I don't know
Yes.
exactly what happened, but I didn't hit
I
anything.
had a bath bomb, like sudsing people in the face. That was the level of lethality.
Because of the random dice, you might get another one right now. It's on the
And
list.
I'm very excited, which is why I want mine.
Would you like me to skip the roll and just give you another one?
It's everything in my being to not hope she gets it, and then I will tamper with it when she's sleeping.
I'm gonna pee in it.
And where are you doing this tampering first? I don't sleep. I go into a trance-like state for like 3 hours, and you don't know where I live. So
While you're trance-like stating.
I'm just gonna pee on it immediately. I'm not even gonna hide it.
Mine.
well, just to be clear, does Sleazel and Arist even know that we're getting these items? Were they even like aware that we're like getting this?
Not yet.
No, but they're definitely on the truck, right? So like when
Right.
things were unloaded, you guys would have to figure out like how are you going to hide a handful of like boxes, or are you going to toss boxes? Like how do you hide a handful? And again, it's totally up to you guys. Like if you want to, that's totally fine. For the listeners, Patrick and Andrew will know what you get, just so we can include everybody involved. But you get to decide what you guys do to it. So the first thing up, you get a Troglit Creche. And what it is a canister that has these little, like, actually like medium-sized pigeon size, they say, literally, creatures in it. And when you open it, it just lets them free. So it's like this little kind of, and they're probably not real. They're probably like little mechanical creatures in a canister. And I'll give you like the stats and stuff for those guys. We need to go another roll.
Can you message me what I?
I'm gonna message you. Yeah, I'm just gonna message you guys everything and like the expanded details. So
Are you gonna tell them what I secretly pocketed?
that's it. Yeah, the listeners are for sure gonna know, and Patrick and Andrew and Tracy will just have to not metagame as best they can.
We're doing a great job of that so far.
Okay, the other next item out of the three. Too many items. This is fun listening. Okay, next one is called Eagle's Eye. This large blue pill enhances your vision for the next 3 hours. You have advantage on perception rolls based on sight. And then the last one is Transdimensional Lens. Let's see where that is. So all these things are single use only, again, because we're first level. Transdimensional Lens. This complex device features a lens through which you can view the world with only slightly distorted colors. When activated as your action, you can see phasing, out of phase, invisible, ethereal, and transdimensional creatures, objects, and sources of energy within long range. Once activated, the lens functions for 1 day. So like 1 day you can see like invisible things and people like being cloaked.
So it's small, I assume.
Yeah, most of these things would fit.
But not the first one. So if the last two are small, I'm just gonna
Wait.
roll.
It says it's
And-
pigeon-sized.
So there's multiple pigeon-sized things in it.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably
Why?
like a canister like that.
So I'm just gonna roll a d20. If I get 1 to 10, that'll be the first.
Well, wait.
Is it L, am I
So
right?
L is standing next to you.
This
so if
was
L-
this was in the truck. So I sleight of handed this like when we were in the truck, like at the warehouse.
So you're just pretending like L's not watching you.
She wouldn't have been. And I sleight of handed it. You told
Elle
me I
doesn't-
passed.
for the first one, for sure. I'm not letting you steal all the stuff.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to roll what I got because I don't want to just pick what I got. It would have been like I grabbed quick and like pocketed.
So you're doing like a D6 and picking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, that's fine. I could do a 6. Whatever. Yeah. I basically, if I get below the half, it was the pill, and if it's above, it's the whatever the last.
Well, there's
thing
3 things.
The first thing is too big. I wouldn't have been able to.
Oh, I get it now. I get it.
I'm trying to be like.
You are overcomplicating everything.
No, it's super simple.
I want to know
It's
where
simple in
this
my mind.
troglet thing was headed and why.
Yeah.
Like a magic store?
No,
On, like,
someone
the
ordered
fourth ring?
chocolate, but they failed on their text roll, and it ended up being
I got a
chocolate.
6, so I would have swiped the whatever that third one was.
The lens.
The lens.
Good.
Yep.
Burning.
I'm going to see if I can find real quick because no.
I mean, I'm
cool.
imagining like one of those. It looks like a Pringles can, and you open it, and like the snakes come out. That's what I'm imagining.
I think I don't think that would be too far off base. And the things would be kind of just like semi-organic, semi-biotic, semi-electronic devices. So think of like we talked about earlier, like a lot of the animals on here are very Blade Runner-esque, where they're not real because keeping things alive would be just too expensive. So it'll be like that, but they'll be smaller and semi-liquid. Okay, so today's probably gonna be a little shorter because we have a half hour left, but last time we went over, and today you guys didn't explore 2 of the floors I had planned. So we're probably just gonna cut it a little early.
Do we not get another mission?
You will, but he's gonna give it to you tomorrow. Actually,
Because we need a full session to complete, right?
So first, before you start the next mission, you guys are all gonna level to 2.
Yeah.
So and with that, you'll need that for the next mission. I do have the next mission if you guys want it now, at least the start of it, or do you guys want to wait till the next one?
No, give us time to think about it. This is a group that needs time to ponder.
Yeah.
Sure. So Raji,
I would like to say, like, we've been delivered our 3 items, right? So like
yes.
the eagle's eye and the transdimensional lens, like, are pocketable. They're in like the troglet thing with the weird pigeon duders are harder to hide, and so they're just sitting in the truck, right?
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. And I pocketed the lens on the truck, so you don't even know I have the lens.
And so
you just know you have the pill.
Right. So did I sense that Aslan wanted the troglet? No. Okay. So we're at Raji's, and I'm like, oh yeah, and those are for you too.
Yeah, Raji's like,
These weird pigeon things.
Maybe the kids will like it. And he's like, all right. I've got another mission for you. And he goes like, this one's a little bit weird. And where he's been giving you guys your missions through the devices, this one he has on like a small piece of paper, and it's handwritten, which is very strange for a lot of stuff around here. And it's got an emblem of a hammer on the bottom, kind of like stamped into it. And he's like, I think it's from the hammers. It showed up yesterday while you guys where you were planning and getting your heist ready. And he goes, all I have is a district and an address for you guys to show up to. It says it's going to pay well. And because it's the hammers, this could be your easiest way off the ring if that's still your thing.
And we have no idea how much it is. They just said it will pay well.
Right. But the hammers are the ones who control this ring. So like,
and they're the authority. They're the authority.
Yeah.
They're the police, right?
Yeah. They're like Decrum's like hands all across this ring.
Wait, where does it say for us to go?
Yeah, he goes, there's a district and it has the address on there. So like you're just supposed to show up, and then someone should be there for you. And you're going to show up tomorrow. Like that's when I need to send somebody.
Are we all?
So they're not requesting us. So it's not like a trap. Okay.
Nope. It's just a job that came up, and he's like, if you guys want it, a lot of people won't take it because most people don't want to work with the law here. But he goes, this is probably your best chance to get off this ring. Like they have the most power here. I don't know what else I can offer you guys that would help.
Well, I was going to say, just about anybody's going to pay better than you do, right? High five.
Yeah. It just is like, I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, they're sick people. This is out of my pocket.
Okay.
You guys want to try it?
I would take this. Yeah, I'd take the slip for sure.
So yeah, he just gives you the piece of paper, and on there it says like District 8, which on the map, and we'll figure that out. And he goes, there should just be someone waiting at the address.
I would really like an outro of Gary's experience following the heist.
After, like a little meta.
Yeah, so like
When everything got
does
realized.
Gary check? Is he like essentially like a nervous wreck for the entirety of the day? I would really like to know what happened to Gary after we left that building.
Yeah. Gary nervously sat there the whole time. And eventually he's just like, how am I getting my money? But like more than that, he's just like really nervous because he hasn't heard anything for hours. And instead of like going and looking, he just hasn't moved from his chair. Eventually his coworker like gets up to get something from the back and sees like entire room 2 tossed. The patient's room's tossed. The guard is just standing there like nothing's going on. And Gary's just frozen, trying to like, it wasn't my fault. So far it's just chaos there. Gary's got his job still, so that's great. But you also didn't give him any money, which is kind of rude.
But he escaped with his life. So I'm just saying that's a real accomplishment.
Yeah, that would have happened every day.
I should maybe point out that Gary can finger us. And I don't think that any of us want that. So we should
Speak for yourself.
So we should maybe pay Gary.
Just to be clear,
I have no intention of paying.
He has no idea who a vast majority of us is.
Yeah.
So if there's someone worried about being fingered, they should probably pay him.
Is it okay for me to say that I hate my party? Can I just say it? Like,
yes, and you can actually tell them.
Yeah, I'm looking out. I'm looking out right now.
Can it be official canon that I hate my party? They are the worst.
There's so much room for personal growth here, though. So
exactly.
we can't get much.
And you don't know like 90% of this because it's
that
true.
doesn't mean he wouldn't hate you even more.
But I do.
That is true.
I'll go at you're explaining the Gary thing separately. I also had a memory of like, oh shit, we never paid Gary, and I am gonna tell you that, hey, we should go pay him because like he knows your face. That's not great. We need to go pay that guy. And if we're not meeting till tomorrow, why don't we run back to the bar where we see Gary and try to like give him a few credits?
We never gave him an actual number of credits. We started to figure out what the credits were. We said we would give him a percentage, and he was like fine to take anything. So
yeah, we were very persuasive, but we need to go give him something.
Yeah.
You know what you should do? You should just pay his tab for like a dinner or two or something through the bar instead of actually giving him the money in case he tries to press you for more.
I think we just give him 10 credits and say this is a lot of our cut was on this. We didn't get very many high-end supplies, as you know. He doesn't know the deal that we made with the other guy. Right? Like we didn't get as many high supplies. We got tongue depressors and cotton swabs and 2 oxygen tanks. Like it wasn't this big score. But here's a few extra bucks. Thanks for your help. And we're glad that no one got hurt. Thank you.
I would also say it's like when you go to the bar, he's got 2 drinks instead of 1, and he just looks stressed. Like it's been the hardest day he's worked, but like not really worked. I guess he takes like the 10 credits. He's not like super stoked on it because it's not much, but hey.
Was that a 5 from you and a 5 from me, Andrew?
Sure.
You should give him the troglet.
We don't even know there was troglet.
Yeah, or that it was given away with us still not knowing that it existed.
No, we gave you the troglets when we dropped off all the stuff to Raji.
I thought you gave it to Raji.
I gave it to them.
No,
I gave it to. We gave the 2 of them to you two.
Raji
You
even
guys got
responded and said, "I guess the kids will love it."
Yeah,
I misunderstood. If you guys have it, you can give it to Gary if you want.
Yeah, you can give Gary the chocolate.
Here, Gary. Here's we. I don't even know what this is, but this was something that I don't even know. But because we weren't able to give you more money, maybe this can be worth something. Boom.
Yeah, he looks at it. He's like, poking the side. He's like, "What
maybe
is
it?
it?"
Some friends. He seems lonely. He needs a pet.
All right,
but
let me
genuinely,
my 5.
thank you, Gary. Appreciate your help, and
you will never see us again, which I think is the primary thing that you want to hear in this moment.
Yeah, and he's like, I appreciate that. See you later. So
Tracks covered.
we have 20 minutes left. Is anyone not confident in their ability to get to level 2 and figure that out?
Yeah, I think that's a great thing to do, is to go ahead and walk us through leveling characters.
Because right now I don't have any XP showing.
No, you will never. I'm tracking. So XP is done through a couple different ways. It's done through the enemies you kill or avoid, right? Because they're encounters. So even though you guys didn't deal with the things on that floor, like you got through it, and so you get the experience for all those. There's also a secondary mode called milestones, where it's just like a video game. If you were able to get to the end of the level, you just get experience for finishing. And that's a way for us to just like progress, even though you decided not to kill everything. So I'm tracking in the background, just like rough experience. And if I want to add new creatures and enemies, we need to level you guys. So I think now is good. This is also level 2 is when you guys, a lot of you will start getting extra things for your class, which is fun. If I can find my class page.
Like instruments?
No, you'll always be the guitar master.
Great.
Would you like to start?
Sure. What I do?
So first you get to decide, do you want to roll for your increased health, or would you like to take the standard?
I'm going to... I think it's a bad mistake. I'm going to roll for it.
Cool. So it says hit points at or higher levels, you roll 1d8 plus your constitution modifier. This is going to be a different number for most of you. The 1d8 has to do with the bard.
I gain 2 health.
Plus your constitution modifier?
No, yeah, it's a -1.
Oh.
And we can thank, I think it was Jedi for that one. So
Yeah.
Thanks, Jedi. So now I have 9 health at level 2.
All right. And then if we look at your character sheet at level 2, you gain Jack of all trades and Song of Rest. So let me just see if I can find that in here for you real quick.
Yeah, and is one of those a spell or a cantrip? What is it?
So Jack of all trades, starting at 2nd level, you can add half your proficiency bonus, which currently is 2. So you would add 1 to any ability checks you make that doesn't already include your proficiency bonus.
And I'm sorry, is that a spell or that's just a
No,
passive?
Just a passive thing. So whenever you do an ability check, you can add 1 if you're not proficient in it. So you get like half proficiency on all skills. You also get Song of Rest. You can use soothing music or oration to help revitalize your wounded allies during a short rest. If you or any friendly creatures who can hear your performance regain hit points at the end of the short rest by spending 1 or more hit dice, each of those creatures regain an extra 1d6 hit points.
And what is that?
Yeah, so when we do longer, like more dungeon-y things where we're going to explore places for more than one session, and you're not able to go home and sleep, you're going to do a thing called a short rest, which is like the players just chill out for technically in-game 3 hours. You can roll a hit dice for that. What you get to do is play music while people are resting, and if they do roll hit dice, they get to add an extra 1d6 to their number.
And what's the name of that again?
Song of Rest.
All right.
Solomon's Rest.
Anything else?
You do get to know, so right now you know 4 spells. And for you, we picked spells that aren't really magic. They all had to do with like more personality type things. You just get to add 1 more, and you can cast 3 first level spells now instead of 2.
Okay, so my slots available is now 3.
Yep.
And
you can know 5 spells.
1, 2, 3. And is there a specific spell that I pull them from?
Yeah, if you Google like bard spells, that'll be the list.
Cool. Great.
I can help you with that outside if you can't find those.
Oh, I'll find them for sure.
Okay. Who wants to go next and talk about their class?
I mean,
I'll
I'll
go.
go. Doesn't matter. Tracy, you go.
Okay, Tracy, you're a rogue. No, you're a
Ranger.
Rogue. Ranger.
Ranger Tom.
To ground control.
It's apropos.
Tom to ground control.
Yep.
It is apropos. So, Tracy, would you like to roll your dice? Or just...
Which one is it? Also a D8 or?
You're going to be a D10 plus your Constitution modifier.
Okay, hold on. Let me just
Or
check
a flat 6.
Oh, I have charm person. Were we looking for that the other day?
Can we do a prediction, Patrick, on my health
That
increase?
could have been helpful.
Oh, yeah. Let's do a prediction. So
Good call, Andrew.
what's the question?
Will, can you tell me how much I can potentially gain on health, just real quick, so we can
You're
get a
a
prediction?
rogue, right?
Yeah.
I just have to find the rogue real quick. I think offhand it's a D8, so you could get plus 10 total.
No, I can't. Because my constitution is only 1, so it would be 9.
You're right. Sorry. What's your hit dice on there? What's it say? 1d8?
1d8, yeah.
Yeah, so I believe it's 1d8 plus 1, so you'd be 1 through 9, or 2 through 9, theoretically.
I rolled a 5.
Okay, so yeah, Patrick, can you make it like...
so what is your
Plus your
constitution
constitution.
modifier?
That's with the modifier.
So total 5? So that, I mean, you only got
Mhm.
1 less
Make it
than the
5,
flat.
Patrick?
So you add 5 to your total hit dice.
More than 5 health points?
Yeah, 5 or more. Yeah.
And then at second level, you get a fighting style, which we can talk about more unless you already had picked one.
I didn't. I was aware of this. I was warned of this for level 2 for Rangers.
Yeah.
So
The only reason I would say like don't feel pressure to pick this now, because it does dictate a lot of how you play.
that's what I heard.
So you get that, and you also get the ability to cast some spells, and you get to learn 2 spells for first level. Again, for you, we discussed like, magic is outlawed. If you can find spells that you can kind of pitch as not necessarily being magic, which is what I did for Patrick. Like Charm Person technically is magic, right? But we understand Charm Person could be just a personality thing. So if you want to find spells that you think could just be abilities, that's also fine. But you can also use magic. That's, I'm not going to stop you from that. So you got that. You got those 2 things. And I think that is yours. Your fighting style is the big thing.
Yeah.
The standard ones are archery, defense, dueling, or 2-weapon fighting. So we can talk more. How long does Andrew need, Patrick?
Andrew's gonna need like 4 more minutes. So
cool. Ray, you're the rogue.
I think I'm 10 because my constitution's 2.
So you get to roll a D8, or if there's a flat number if you'd rather take that.
Nah, I'll roll. Everyone's rolling.
We need people to vote yes, because I want more than 4. I need people to believe in me.
I rolled a 7 plus 2. 9.
Cool. So you add 9 to your total hit points. And you get cunning action. That's your big level 2 thing. So cunning action, starting at level 2, your quick thinking and agility allow you to move and act quickly. You can take a bonus action on each of your turns in combat. This action can be used only to take the dash, disengage, or hide action. So Andrew, that's also going to be for you because you're both rogues. What this means, like disengage, if you move outside of combat from an enemy, they get a attack of opportunity, which is just like you're so worried about getting away from someone, they just take a slash at you undefensed. If you use the bonus disengage, they can't get that attack. Also, hiding after your attack isn't a normal thing, and you're able to do that. And dash means that you can run your full distance again and still attack.
So since we both get that, do we also continue to have sneak attack as well?
Yep. You keep everything you had. We're only adding.
These are all compounding.
Yeah, and the reason you guys only get cunning action is because sneak attack is pretty overpowered. So like most of like the ranger and the bard got less on level 1. You guys got more on level 1, and you're just getting a little bit less on. But what I would say, just a fair warning for you guys, because this is not something everyone knows off the top, is you can have multiple actions. You can only have 1 bonus action always. So if you use your bonus action to disengage and then something else gives you another bonus action, it's already been used. Does that make sense?
Forever. Thank you.
How's that clock looking, Patrick? I think the last thing we have is Andrew rolling his health.
Yeah, okay. So it's I think it's a minute 35 left, but I can end submissions now. So if you're ready, I'll go and end submissions and then we'll go. So all right, go ahead. We're ready. Roll.
Rolling a D8. Okay. I just lost a bunch of points. I got 6.
Hey, so I think that's actually just like your
+1.
Hey, that's 1 over if you had not rolled. You just got a 5 if you didn't roll. So 6. So just add that to your health. You guys are all at full health. You're all at full
Hey!
spells.
All right. So we're going to do one more thing. We're going to do a poll. And this is going to be for which spell I should choose. But I have narrowed it down specifically to 2 that I think are very rock and roll. And that was important. Should Slick Boy choose?
Do we need to change our what else do we need to change? I added cunning action. I changed my hit points. Do I need to change any other?
Nope, that's it.
I'm rogue 2 now, so I just click 2 or I type 2.
At level 3,
I can't say that phrase without thinking of Wolford Brimley.
Okay, here we go.
I don't know
Here
if
we
I
go.
know that reference.
Type 2.
Diabetes.
Oh,
Diabetes.
I guess I didn't know his name.
Okay. The guy that looks like what were the 2 guys on Mythbusters? Jamie. It looks like Jamie Heinemann's
Adam
dad.
Savage.
That's
Yes.
what it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so here's the 2 choices. The 2 choices are Thunderwave and Color Spray. They're rolling right now. Thunderwave is like a wave of thunder sweeps out for me, so I'm imagining that's like dropping the bass moment. Okay.
Thunderwave.
And then Color Spray, dazzling array of flashing colored lights. Oh my gosh. And it also like hits people. And that comes out of my hand.
Keytar thing.
It comes out of my
Yeah.
freaking hand. So I can like play keytar and then like dazzle.
Oh man, I almost wanted to come out of like the head of your keytar instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's
sparks and
cool.
stuff coming from your keytar.
So I can either like drop the bass, like brown note, I don't know what you call it, like really low, or rainbow
Light show.
out of the palm of my hand.
Confetti.
Those are the 2 choices right now. And you have another, I don't know, some amount of time to decide. How much time do you have? You have like another 45 seconds to pick which one it's going to be. So
Color spray's looking pretty good right now.
okay, well.
So with 2 minutes, Tracy, have you put any thought into what you think you want, how you want to play your ranger?
Like a bit. Like I like the idea of like 2-handed. Like I chose a bunch of weapons based on that, but I'm not entirely certain because I
That's
was
fine,
like
yeah,
really unsure getting this like character sheet together to begin with,
that's
how
totally
this was
fine.
gonna roll. And now that I've gotten a bit of like in-game experience, I'm gonna go back to that book and see.
Yeah. So one interesting, don't go back to the book your husband has, because that's
No, not
3.5.
that one. That one's full of lies.
That's actually probably my favorite edition. It's the one I grew up with,
Mm,
but it's not the one we're playing.
mhm.
One thing to think about too, just like with the party. So obviously pick what you think you'll have the most fun with.
Mhm.
But it sounds like Ray, for the most part, is going to try to play from the back line. Is that
Mhm.
fair? I think Andrew's going to play mostly from the front line, right? So you get to decide, like, if it's 2-weapon fighting, you're going to be in the fray always. If you
Mhm.
do archery, you're going to be in the back. The defender or defense, you'd be trying to take hits while Andrew's like stabbing things from behind.
And I'm
So I
bringing
just,
the
like-
light show.
And yeah, and
Distraction.
Patrick is doing the
Important.
distractions. Patrick's doing the boosts. Like he's going to give you guys the buffs you need, and he's just going to attack people.
Yeah.
So just like when you're thinking about it, there's like one easy way to start planning these things, or one useful way to start planning these things, just like in a combat scenario, how would I want this to like look, and then how do you want your character to look, and then they're pretty easy to see like which ones would be which.
I do think
That makes
that
sense.
I do think that as we continue along the way, we're sticking together. We are a party. We should be starting to trust each other.
That's for everybody to decide, though.
And but as I'm saying we should be like
Yeah.
Yeah.
theoretically
Yeah.
speaking, we've done 2 jobs together. They've gone
Well
according
enough.
to-
They've gone.
Yeah, well enough. We're still, we're still all standing. No one's taking any damage. Like as we continue,
I got
to go,
shot at, and you guys ruined my bath bomb. So, job one
I didn't ruin your
was
bath
not
bomb.
like a
You're-
love fest for me. Okay?
Nobody ruined your bath bomb. Your bath
Y'all
bomb
shot
just was not great.
wildly, and thankfully I was not the casualty, but my bath bomb was.
Wait.
It didn't have to die.
Wait,
one
wait,
of
wait,
you,
wait.
one of you are gonna have to buy a bath bomb for her.
Hang on.
Maybe that'll
Patrick,
fix
did you
everything.
did you destroy her bath bomb?
Yeah.
What did
Oh,
I do?
I didn't know that.
No, I did. was me.
It died.
Well then.
It
Okay,
died.
so cool.
Shooting
So now-
wildly. Almost got shot at.
Here's
It
my
was
point.
terrible.
Here's my point. As we continue to move closer together as a team, right? We theoretically would be gaining trust and understanding. If we're fighting together, it maybe would be beneficial for us to have ranged people and close combat people as a party. Like if we're trying to have like the strongest party, that might be something.
And you're having to carry me.
I do have a
Literally carry you.
while I may be a frontliner, I
Squishy.
fly and I have a like a laser crossbow. So it's not like
You'll be moving. You'll be the transition.
Yeah.
right. I'll be moving around.
I'm
so it's
kind of
not like
both as well.
I'm
I
not
mean, 'cause-
melee, but I am going to be frontline, like the head of the party, making sure that we're, so just something to keep in mind when
Do
I
we
battle. I'm not
have-
going to be like on the ground for the most part with like a melee weapon, like stabbing people.
Do
I'm
we
going to have
a tank style character?
The ranger is the closest we have.
Yeah. And honestly, from how it sounds like if Eris is in the front, I'm in the back, then you two would be in the middle. To be able to kind of split off and do what you need to.
Patrick,
You
you,
go
you
either
have
way.
9 health, 8 health, 9 health now?
I have 9 health.
What I will say, a little bit
Squishy.
meta, at level 2, that is almost a single hit from most enemies. You
Yeah,
might
he's
get lucky,
squishy.
and it might be 2. So saying Patrick is a front or middle is a little confident.
He would be in the middle, I would
Yeah,
imagine.
he would be as far away
protected,
from
right?
swinging swords as possible.
I would like
I
to
would
believe
also
I'm
like to
like
talk.
a
Go ahead,
glass
Patrick.
cannon, but the thing is, I'm not a cannon. I'm just a piece
You're
of
just
glass. That's all I am, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm rolling whatever's given to me. It is very likely Sleazel is not going to make it much farther, and that's okay. It is what it is. I've never.
I
had,
think when I was saying front, middle, back, I'm thinking of like when we're walking into things.
Oh, yeah.
That's why in my brain. Yeah.
The
I
other
would
thing
like to ask a question really
Yeah.
briefly off of what Andrew was saying, mostly because of like what character building is and like the world we're in, right? Like all of us are kind of like strangers, and in the world we live in, I have felt like in the description it was kind of like dog eat dog a bit, like where like survival meets and where it makes sense you guys cooperate, but it's not like we're all in like some commune where we trust and love like the community, because none of us are in guilds together. And so my understanding up until this point was like, yes, eventually we would progress to a point of like trust or understanding, but I understood, and my character has been designed that like I don't open up from the beginning, so that's going to have to be earned over time. That
Yeah.
being said, I don't want to kill morale of these of other people in the party actively playing to get actually meta. And so if we need to address that, I'm happy to address it. But the way I interpreted the way this particular campaign was run, as well as the way my character was designed, it's not going to be lovey, sherry, touchy feely from the get-go. So I was kind of interested in like gut checking everyone else to see where if this is still fun for you, because I'm happy to kind of like curb it a bit softer, smooth out those edges, but I kind of know where everyone else, I would like to know where everyone else is.
I think that's a I appreciate the question, because I instinctively, even though I'm playing my character, we still have a joint effort of trying to do something together. And so it did feel like we were two parties fighting each other multiple times during this encounter. And I'm just sitting here going like, why would we want to hinder each other from moving forward and progressing? But maybe that's just because my character wouldn't do that. And maybe your characters would. And like, that's why I wasn't like forcing the matter or forcing the issue at hand, right? But in the back of my mind, I'm like, why would we want to fight against each other? It seems like we would want to have the strongest party, even if we're not best friends when we go home from these missions. But the reality is, when we're playing this game, we're on the missions. So like we are working together when we're on these missions. And so that's kind of my 2 cents on it.
I'd invite us to think about the fact that actually plays into the storyline really well. Like to have two parties that are kind of really having that hard time working together and figuring it out. And remembering that like each character has their own like methods behind what they're doing, and we don't all know it yet. So if we can use it as like a chance to explore and like have fun with that and try to peel it out of each other, like that's going to build the character, and that's where we're going to get the growth. So if you feel like your character having those things, putting it through dialogue and maybe like trying to do perception checks or check on things and use it for the story and lean into it instead of us trying to control it, because I think that's where the fun comes out of it.
Yeah, I think everyone's got valid points where part of it's like we want to do something, right? And if everyone feels like they're pulling the rope in the opposite direction, it just gets frustrating. Tone and what you're saying is everyone here has a personality and reasons they're doing everything, right? And the amount each person plays into that is going to change, and the amount that gets kind of opened up is going to change. And that's great. That is D&D. That's why D&D is different than a board game. What I would say as just like a thought experiment for tone, if I like to push back to media, right? Because it's just something we all can have a equal base on. But if we think about like Princess Leia and Han Solo, they were definitely against each other. Over time, they got warmer. But I think to what Andrew's point was like, when it came down to the job, they all did what they needed to do. They didn't like each other, and that's fine. Like, you don't have to like Eris or Sleazel. I'm not sure Patrick's like Sleazel all the time. But there is a certain amount where, like, when it comes to danger, that some things would have to get put aside. And now it's just like, all right, how do we get out of here alive? All of you do have a reason to like want to get off ship. How important is that to you, right? Like, how much are you willing to give up your other things to get off station? With all that, I'm not telling you how to play the game, right? Like, these are just things to think about. If you would come back 2 weeks from now and you're like, I'm going to be even more closed off, like, there's nothing we can do about that other than I could just kill your character and then we could have a reason to make a new one. So I guess one person has something they can do about it.
Someone's got a god complex.
DM. Does that make sense?
So are you saying that DM stands for dick move? Is that what you just said?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I love these type of conversations after sessions. So like, if there's ever thoughts, like after we're done, it's like, hey, how can we have the most fun together? And it's way better to do this. Like, I learned that with the last group, and I think I talked about this maybe in session 0, where like our party just wasn't attacking anything. I mean, bugs, CG, video game characters, like they just refused to attack anything. And then we let it go for like 3 months. And then I was like, we need to have like a little come to Jesus moment, because like I'm not having fun. We're literally not doing anything. What do we do? Right? And then they were like, oh, we misunderstood what you wanted. Like, it's just usually communication, right? So the more we can just do these things after, I'm stoked.
Yeah, the funny thing is that if we it depends on how far we want to push the threads, right? Because what will happen if we're adventuring together and it starts feeling like it's more and more like 2 against 2, then we'll stop adventuring together, because then like
right,
half the party will be doing one thing and half the party will do the other thing. So if we're actually wanting to adventure together, then it has to be there has to be more compromise, because I think all of us will take the role play really far, and then it'll just be like then like we'll be meeting on alternating Thursdays. Which is fine, but I mean,
that would be really fun for
I would say
Will.
it's not fine. I don't have time.
I don't care. I do want to consider the ramifications of having to get a saddle made that I can put on Andrew's character, and if it's possible for me to measure him while he's asleep, and to get that produced.
I'm glad that you said that. Is there a way to share an image? If I give it to you, Will?
You should be able to drop it right into Figma. I could be wrong, but we all have edit capabilities.
Yeah, just drop it in Figma, and I'll go to the Figma side.
All right, I've never used Figma for...
It's like a mass...
After hours.
Yeah, just...
After hours, I love it.
Where do I just drag it in? Is that all I do?
Yeah, just drag it in, and then I'll find it, and we'll focus on it.
All right. Is this it? Okay. I spent the time on Hero Forge.
Where the...
Oh, yeah.
Wait, where did you put something somewhere?
Yeah, it's on top of the map.
There, okay, sorry, it just loaded.
Oh.
So zoom in on that. That's what my character looks like.
Oops.
Like a
It
full
disappeared.
screen.
I'm trying to delete all these tokens that somehow ended up on top.
Very
Oh,
good.
I'm way more scared of him than I thought I was.
That's what my character looks like.
I was
That's what he-
totally picturing a stork, like similar to Kung Fu Panda, the stork fighter. That's what I had in my brain.
I
think-
figured people had a misinterpretation of who I was, so I thought that it would be a good idea to show people.
Yeah.
I think it could be good exercise for everyone. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Hero Forge. Hero Forge is a way to 3D print minis, and they have like a little in-game designer thing. And this is not sponsored by Hero Forge, but I think it could be a cool way just to see each other's characters. We could even actually, if I
The only thing that's slightly different,
oh.
the only thing that's slightly different than what it is actually appearing is that my
You're gonna make him an icon.
my whatever you call it, my crossbow is
I'd have that
not
work.
quite that large. It's like a stealthier crossbow, but they didn't have like they didn't have like a laser crossbow. But
Yeah.
that's my character.
So you're telling
Sweet.
me you don't look like the thing from the Neverending Story?
I knew that's what you were referencing. I'm like,
Yes.
not quite. Yeah.
Yay, icon.
Exactly. That's what I was doing the entire time back. Perfect. They have an
Will,
icon.
I can get a better angle and get a screenshot of a better angle for
yeah.
doing that later. Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll see. Also, like if I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys have Twitch open, compared to the icons we're using, it's much harder to see all those little.
Well, that's kind of what I meant.
Yeah,
I can also
so-
take the hood. I could also take the hood off.
We
for
could
the
talk
purposes.
midweek and figure this out, though. It might be
Oh.
worth doing. I think Andrew, that was a
Like
great
it.
idea. I was not. I think I was closer to picturing what it was than the rest of this crew, but it does look more intimidating, more
Yeah.
closely like.
I mean, I'm a smuggler, right? So
right,
that's
no.
my
Yeah.
Well, you're at least smug.
yeah.
All
Yep.
right.
I mean,
think-
that's the other thing is like we're smugglers and scavengers and like we're pretty seedy characters.
Yeah, we're not
so-
friendly folks.
No,
And
so
so
keep that in mind.
it's helpful to gut
But-
check where everyone's at with that particular end of the role play because I'm
Yeah.
coming from I think a different place than other people are and expecting to build that over however long this campaign goes.
No,
so.
I'm glad you said that. Like legit, like it makes 100% sense.
Yeah, we're not in it to wreck it, but we
yeah,
want
I'm
to play
definitely
into the
not here
story
to
that
kill
feels-
anybody.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
be
yeah,
real
yeah.
clear. Like
At least not yet. We'll see where this goes. So we just added on 40 minutes to what I thought was gonna be an early session. Now we're running over. So
Okay.
I hope people stuck around with us and liked all this kind of meta talk. Ray, why don't you tell us where people can find you?
Inked Flame on Instagram or all over, but that's where I am the most.
Tracy?
at Tracy Ching, pretty much across the board.
Andrew?
I'm at Andrew Sale with 3s instead of E's.
Patrick?
At Hey Pretty Girl 21.
And
No,
I'm
no.
at Will Churin on Instagram and Twitter. Does anyone have anything they want to promote? Andrew, do you have any new sales or anything going on?
I have all sorts of stuff going on.
His last name
Just
is
go to
Ariel.
my Instagram and you can see it. Like
Yeah, just go check out his
Hit up-
Instagram. It's
hit
always
up
cool
my
stuff.
hit up my squid link.
Hey, that means I need to work on that. I just want that crazy clown lamp that Ray has. It looks, I know it's not, but I'm so
it's what it looks
convinced
like,
now
right?
you have a neon clown lamp and I want it so bad.
It's freaking me out a little bit.
Yeah, good.
With little like
You
X
got-
eyes.
Replace that that plastic with a glass sheet for me. So it's
Well, I was gonna
flat.
say, so that's the problem with plexi versus
Yeah.
glass.
Mhm.
Tracy, plug your project.
Oh, the ERA project
Yeah.
that we spoke about on our session
It's
released
worth speaking
yesterday
about
for
again.
the Pop Culture Roundtable,
Yes.
which you can now catch. Where is it, Patrick?
I just go to her Instagram profile and click the link in the bio.
No, I meant
episode.
our episode where we
Oh,
discussed.
that's imofone.network, or it's on iTunes, Stitcher, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So
I
helpful.
worked on a project with a bunch of other artists, including Shepard Fairey, Chuck Sperry, Terry McPherson, and a slew of other really talented folks to support the Equal Rights Amendment, which is currently trying to be passed through Congress. So it's art and posters, much of other things you can do to help support that movement in order to get an amendment added to the United States Constitution to make sure that voting and other such things cannot be discriminated based on gender.
No biggie. Jeez. Over
Yeah.
here changing the world.
And that was Chuck Berry who makes the shoes, or was it Chuck Berry the musician?
Chuck Berry, the musician from Back to the Future.
Okay, got it.
It was both, actually. No, Chuck Berry is like a crazy prolific like legacy artist who has made just an incredible amount. He's a printmaker, shop runner, and you've probably seen his work. You can find him also on
He's
like,
the guy
neither
that,
of those people.
He's the
actually,
guy that did the logo. The guy that did the logo for the aggro crag.
That is prolific. I want to meet that guy. And then Ray, do you have any projects?
They're coming up, but everyone can send their good vibes for purple belt testing tomorrow. So,
There
Yay!
You have to get tested for that. I just go buy one.
yeah, I have to go get my ass kicked for like an hour and a half to get it.
Which one is it in judo?
you go. Cole's is easier.
Karate?
Kempo karate.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I have
Perfect.
no idea what that is, but
I have nothing
will-
going on in my life.
And we will not be here in 2 weeks. Right? 'Cause
Oh,
we're
Creative
all
South.
at Creative South.
We have to figure it out, but it's probably not. It might get
Cool.
replaced with a one shot, and so then we'll be back two after that.
And
but we'll
either
announce it for
way,
sure.
there's going to be other live things on Twitch. So you should follow. You should subscribe. Give us your Amazon money. It costs you nothing. You probably have one already if you haven't subscribed. So just click on that Prime button.
And everyone at Creative South, I love you. I can't make it. I had to last minute cancel my ticket, so I love y'all. And I
Well,
will see you
that's
next year.
Poopy.
Yeah, I know. I'm moving, so it was a little much to like do that and then move to Texas.
you're giving Tracy your ticket, so Tracy will be there.
Maybe Creative East. I'm not Creative South.
Fair.
All right. I think we can officially sign off.
Sounds good. Hug next,
Everybody
as
has,
they
to,
say.
everybody has to do a wave. Everybody has to do a wave. How will I know?